Hello everybody and welcome to the Cone Racing League. Today we are here for Tier 2 at Round 8 and I'm joined once again by Hedgehog.
Good evening all, thank you for having me again. Looking forward to the Spanish Grand Prix. I'm sure it'll be an interesting race, loved by, I don't think it's loved by many to be honest. I think it's a bit of a Marmite track on the calendar. You either love it or you hate it. Looking forward to it, and I have no doubt that it will produce, as always, a very, very good race.
Yeah, this does mark the halfway through the season in terms of number of races. 7 after this one, 7 before this one, so after this one, half this season and we're done. And actually, we haven't got a championship leader racing today. Carl Cohen having to miss another race.
Shocking behaviour, that. Shocking behaviour. It's surprising, obviously, he'll have his own reasons for it, but missing these races could be the difference between winning the championship and not winning the championship. Like I say, the halfway point of the season now, so you're getting towards that business end of the season. Not many races to go. It'll soon be over. We'll soon be sat here in Bahrain, won't we, for the final race?
Yeah, and I'm sure the Astons will happily take that lead off him if they can.
I don't think they'll complain too much, especially the form of Nelu Safi. I mean,
yeah, he's just.
Yeah,
actually, because on the stream we said the win went to Hobbsy, and that's because Nelu Safi had a 3-second penalty, and he got that taken away because he got 2 warnings for 1 off-track excursion. So they brought that down to obviously only 1 warning from that, and as a result, he did not get a 3-second penalty, and he did end up getting the win in the end. So Hobbsy having his maiden victory taken away from him, I'm sure he'll still be very happy with the P2. Currently P5 in the championship. Yes.
I've mentioned Hobbsy a few times this season, sort of throughout the season. He's been a bit of an underdog. People haven't really talked about him, but he's brought home many consistent results. And again, last week, he didn't get the win in the end, but on the podium, a great result for him once again. And I'm looking at the championship now. He's actually joint 4th with DC. They both on 136. So don't rule out DC and Hobbsy for the championship. Cal Cohen's not here again tonight. I know that the Aston Martin boys are going to be the favourites, but the likes of DC and Hobbsy have set very impressive points so far this season, both been on the podium, and certainly more than capable of challenging for the title if they can get a good result tonight in Spain. I think a track like Spain is such a difficult track to navigate. One little slip up and you can be in a war, and I think it could potentially possess an interesting race winner tonight. I think I'm going to make a bold prediction already and say we could have a surprise winner tonight, someone who you don't necessarily expect. Maybe someone like Carl in Mercedes, for example.
Oh, there we go. Finally some movement in the garage. I thought it might be a lobby glitch or something, but no.
I was thinking that myself. I was starting to think they were going to go out soon.
Oh no, we got Draper. Here we go.
But yeah, happy for Hobbsy last week for him to get on the podium. And like you say, with Cal Cohen not here tonight, if you're Nelu Safi and you're only 10 points behind him in the championship, you could go above him tonight and have a pretty healthy lead with only 7 races to go. So
Nelu Safi,
opportunity for Aston Martin.
Huge form. The first 2 races kind of his 2 weakest, and since then it's just been. Actually, he had that one off race at Silverstone where he got involved in an incident, but since then it's just been podium after podium after podium. He's been top of the form. At the moment, he is driving the best of any of the drivers. So
I think he's a favourite, isn't he, at the moment, I'd say.
Yeah, certainly. Cal Cohen having to sacrifice 2 races, he lost that early advantage he had. Nelu Safi might just run away for the rest of the season. That remains to be seen.
There was one point, wasn't there, after about 3 or 4 races when Cal Cohen had a podium in pretty much every race. He was here every week talking to us, and we thought to ourselves that, is anyone going to beat Cal Cohen this season? It was like a pretty dominant season for him, but like you say, he missed a couple of races. I know he had a bit of a tricky spell, didn't he, from about round 3 down to sort of... Was it round 5? I'd have to go back and have a look. Round 5,
Well, for the first 5 rounds, he was not outside the top 4.
Ah, there you go then.
Actually, no, the first 6 rounds.
Maybe not a tricky spell then.
It's
a couple of races will certainly cost him.
Yeah, it is actually just last round where he wasn't in the top 4. Where he didn't race at all, of course.
It's very consistent.
Sprint races, he's had a 2nd and not in the top 5. But he did get fastest lap that one. So.
There you go. I mean, on paper, he's probably the favourite, but he's missed 2 races in a row now, and if you're Nelu Safi in this great form, winning races for fun at the moment, like I said, he's hit this ridiculous run of form over the past sort of 4 or 5 weeks. you've got to say he's a favourite. I mean, Strauss isn't too far behind, only 17 points separated both Aston Martin drivers. Then comes Hobbsy and DC, we've already mentioned. I think genuinely, I think it could be a 5-horse race for the title.
It seems like it at the moment. I don't know about Hobbsy because he's so consistent. I can't see him being fully dropped. But he needs some really good results that he's capable of getting, but he's going to have to really push to get them. Something else that's quite nice in the Ferrari, we've got De Will. He's come down from Tier 1. He's starting to take league racing, well, certainly F1 league racing, a bit less seriously. So wants to kind of. Ooh, Draper having a moment there, catching it though.
I saw that as well. Thought he'd gone then.
But yeah, De Will's managed to nab himself a full-time seat at Ferrari alongside Krishna. So. It'd be very nice seeing how he races.
Yeah,
because he's got pace, but at the same time, it's kind of he's taking a step back. Oh, Draper into the pit lane. Kind of, you know.
Who is he replaced? Is it Jay Wills?
It is Jay Wills, and we've also had.
Who's retired Draper? Oh, did he have maybe had a quality ban then potentially?
Possibly, it might be why he went out.
I'm assuming that's the case.
Yeah, we also had one of the AlphaTauris. Actually, has that seat been given out yet?
Trunders maybe?
No, actually no. Trunders is reserved in AlphaTauri. They currently have an open seat, but there's 4 drivers who've applied for it. So
is Big Balls also reserved tonight then?
Yes, I believe for the moment.
I think we've seen already this season. He's a very capable reserve, isn't he? A race winner this season, I believe, in USA. He was with DC in the Red Bull, wasn't he?
Yeah, Red Bull 1 too. There we go. Now Safi to the front. Shown already.
We're looking to get them a win, but he's a very capable reserve. When you're a reserve driver, you're winning races. That's pretty scary.
Yeah, because I haven't always practiced as much. And if you're the first driver on the reserve list, then yeah, you can kind of see in advance if you're going to get it. But some drivers can just be last minute called upon, and it's terrifying when they're right at the front. They might be practicing it anyway, just in case. But some of the reserves just coming in and doing well. It's always nice to see.
He's certainly a more than capable reserve driver when you're winning races like he did in USA. And it'll be interesting to see how AlphaTauri get on tonight with 2 reserves representing them. I don't know much about Trunders, I'll be honest with you. I'm not too familiar with him. I do recognise his name. Has he potentially raced one or twice?
He has done some for us. I think he was even in AlphaTauri last time by coincidence. As De Will goes second fastest. So actually De Will fitting right into the mix there.
I feel like I have seen him race this season, but I'm not too familiar with him. I'm just watching on board with Lars in the Haas. He's about to set his first lap, and he's going to go up to second in a 17.2. Very decent first lap that for the Haas driver. The other Haas driver, as mentioned, is Hobbs. He's someone off the track.
Yeah, I just saw
Paradox.
Where is it?
His back engine's gone into a wall.
Yeah,
so the Alpine
be careful
off the track.
of rejoining in front of Trunders. Actually, Trunders isn't an lap, but of course Paradox won't know that.
I'm just wondering if potentially Hobbs has had a bit of a moment as well, because he's certainly going slower. He's clearly had a bit of an issue there on his first lap. Hobbs, he's definitely not going to set a time. If he does set a time, it'll be very, very slow. He's already in the 112 now, and he's nowhere near the end of the lap. So, just wondering if Hobbs has had a bit of a moment there on his first lap. No panic, of course. He's still over 10 minutes ago. I mentioned Carl being a surprise winner tonight, and he's in the 16. So, maybe it could be Carl's lap in the Mercedes, but he's the first driver to put a lap in the 116s tonight.
Yeah, just seeing that DC getting a purple first sector. Oh, is it? I didn't think it had been confirmed who was replacing Bowen. Draper's saying that it is Big Balls that's replaced him.
Ah, okay.
I thought that was just as a reserve for the moment.
AlphaTauri will put it in permanent seat because he's very quick. You can get him a lot of points this season. I'm just on board with this. Tobes always the lap started to.
That's an interesting driver to see up there.
It is.
I think he'll be happy with that.
Well, I did say maybe a surprise winner, so you never know. Here comes DC then, who's currently joint 4th in the championship, round the last corner. Where will he put his first lap? A little bit off the pace for Dan's 40s, I would say. Not terrible lap, they'll score again.
Actually, looking at those top 7, especially De Will through to Lars, very close among those drivers. Yeah, Tobes currently, where is he? 14th in the championship on 35 points. So as De Will takes out a pylon there. Yeah, if Tobes can get a win, then he'll double his score.
I tell you what surprises me. I'm on board with Christian and the Ferrari, and I'm going back to that opening night in Australia when he got joint pole position with Carl Cohen, and he was rapid that night. And to see him only sat on 37 points, if you just told me back in Australia that after 7 races, 6 races, Christian only on 37 points, I'd have been surprised. I'm very, very shocked that he's only on 30 points. He's no doubt he's a very quick driver, seems to have a lot of pace, certainly in qualifying. He's always sort of in the mix in qualifying, but he's one of them drivers that, you know, seems to be able to do it in quality, but he doesn't really get the look in the race. I've seen quite a few of them over the course of the season, not just in this tier either, but in multiple tiers. He just seems one of them drivers that can put a lap together in quality, but then during the race, I don't know what it is, just seems a bit of bad luck maybe. I remember him trying to get took out on the first lap or before the first turn.
I mean, quite often see him pushing too hard as well. What his biggest strength and biggest weakness is he can't not go 100%. And sometimes that's hugely beneficial, and other times that's detrimental.
Well, there you go, he's up to third, so once again showing that he's got that quality pace well in the mix for a pole position tonight potentially. Deluxe, he's just got the corner in sector 2, so that's an invalidation for the Mercedes driver of Deluxe. You have to potentially pit.
Yeah, 4-star up to 11th position, still behind that front group though. Still very close, yeah, first through to 10th. 6 tenths separating a lot of them. You can see some really close times to Will Strauss, 3,000ths between those two drivers. As DC is currently 10th and a half, green first sector.
Yeah, I'm just on board. The yellow flags the Alpine, definitely like each other. So I'm just on board with the Williams of Clerpiar, another driver that's yet to set his first lap to swing through his first sector now in the Williams, looking to get himself comfortably in that top 15 into Q2. Again, Clerpiar currently, where is he sat in the championship? Let me have a quick look.
I think he's nearer the top end of it. I can't remember exactly where he is. Clerpiar currently 10th on 49 points. So
Yeah,
not too bad, but yeah, he's kind of in that. Yeah, he's in a bit of a battle with Recife and Alex. Gap 2, Carl in 7th.
Looking at Deluxe as well, who's not too far off that battle. There's quite a few of them in that sort of 50-point mark. Clerky, I'll be open tonight who can get a decent quality behind him. I feel like in Spain, one of them tracks, of course every track you want to do well in quality, but I feel like in Spain it's crucial.
Who's that driver? Yeah, Cole Paradox.
Twice.
He's lost his front wing. He was on a lap, yes. Nice thing about spinning into the pit lane entries, you can get a new front wing quite quickly. So he will be doing that.
Goes 12. Captain Nick's first lap puts him into P14, so at risk at the moment of elimination. I'm on board with Deluxe, who invalidated his first run. And he had a bit of a wobble again there, which is going to cost him massively. Yeah, he's going to be nowhere near. He's going to be dead last. Deluxe there with that lap.
Yeah, so of course, only 4 of the on-track drivers going to be knocked out. Draper, I'm assuming it's a qualifying ban. I didn't check for certain.
I thought so. Yeah, he only did one lap, didn't he, and then pitted and retired, so I'd be a bit surprised otherwise. Quiet stage of Q1.
Yeah, I've just checked. Draper does have a qualifying ban, so.
Makes sense. Otherwise, I'd be a bit confused otherwise as to why he pulled into the pit, but currently Tobes is the fastest guy. I don't respect the Tobes by any means, but certainly a
surprise, yeah.
The top two, in fairness, Tobes and Carl. I mean, Carl has set the pace throughout the season and been up there. I remember he won the sprint race back in Monza, I believe, but you know, it may not have been the sprint race. I think he won the one-shot quality to start on the front row in the sprint race. I think that's what it was. But certainly 2 drivers there. Clerpiar does improve again and goes up to 6. That's much better from the Williams driver.
Nick, rather cutting the pit lane entry there. Not happy with his lap times coming from the pits.
Not surprising.
Naughty.
Yeah, there's not too much going on. He's on a lap.
Deluxe having a moment there. Deluxe again making a mistake, and actually I think that cost him this lap and the next. Because now he's going to have a slower start to his new lap. It does improve his old lap, of course, but that's because he was already right at the bottom. So he's still going to want to try and find more.
So it's interesting, Christian's not pitted yet, he's still on the old softs, he's still setting laps on them softs, he's actually a 10-foot, just set a purple sector, so, I mean, he's hammering these softs into the ground, he's probably already saving into Q2, but clearly not happy with his time, wants to get quicker and go above Tobes and Carl. Will he be able to do that here? Crosses the line, and he will.
No, misses out 13,000ths off Tobes, but does beat Carl by a couple of tenths.
He's used to a close battle for pole, isn't he, Christian, after that round in Australia. But, man, he'll have more than enough in the bank there to put that Ferrari comfortably into Q2. His teammate Doolittle, though, still in the pits, only 12th at the moment, so he's certainly not put to his place in Q2. It's quite a close battle for Q2 here, because, you know, you like the Doolittle, Four-star, Captain Nick just coming out the pits now. He needs to improve as well. You feel that P14 won't be safe.
Yeah, it
it's
was.
a nice little battle there for that Q2.
I think Four-star is definitely not going to be safe. It's that DeWill. I don't think he's going to be safe at that time. Because you look, he's only just under 6/10 behind the leader, and he is in 12th place. So that's less than half a tenth separating the drivers. And actually, a lot of that just comes from the front two drivers being 2/10 ahead of the rest of the field.
The looks here was having another go on his lap again. He's having trouble in the pits now. So he hasn't actually hit it. He's on the, like Krishna, on the older softs, but unfortunately for the looks, he's not improved on that 119.5 back in the pits. There's a yellow flag on my screen. I'm not too sure how long that's been for, but I'd imagine not very long.
I think it's about 3 minutes. 3 minutes.
I would say so.
We'll have to wait for the yellow flag to go away.
On his first lap as well, we know that he can set very quick pace. I've already mentioned him tonight. Where will the new AlphaTauri driver go? He will go up to third. Great.
There we go.
Oh, and Cole Paradox
He's invalidated.
validated in sector 1. So again, he's at risk here, big risk of not getting out of Q1.
If that yellow flag goes away, we'll know how long. Ah, there we go. 3 minutes 6 seconds. So.
So there, oh, there we go. Yep.
Nope.
Oh, another one's come up now. Yeah, this freaking pitch. Yeah. So still plenty of time. Cole Paradox certainly at risk here. He's leaving it late, especially with that invalidation. It's not going to do him
Sadistic
any favours at all.
King coming into the pit lane, currently not safe, so he needs to try and find some more time. Yeah, Captain Nick right on the limit, and he's almost certainly going to have to find more time before he can go places. 4/10 green in the first sector. If he can keep this up, that puts him right in amongst all those drivers on the 17.3.
Yeah, it's a great sector 1 that from Nick. Very, very quick there. He's improved massively in that opening sector. Like I said, needs to keep it clean now, and he's gone a little bit wide there. Hopefully it won't affect him too much. That's one of the most toughest cars on the track. That right-hander there. Maybe a little torque if he's lucky. But he's still 3/10 up to be fair, so he's looking good, Captain Nick here, to potentially put the AlphaTauri through. His teammate Reservoir's already.
There we go.
Well, there he is, the informed man, showing that pace again. But will Captain Nick also be in Q2 as he rounds this tricky last sector of the track? Needs to put himself, I'd say, low 17s here to be comfortable.
We'll see where he ends up. It looks
looking good.
There we go. We'll see.
Borderline.
He's 1,000th behind Hobbsy, so he'll be gutted if he misses out by that gap.
I just thought that, and if that's Captain Nick all over, that'll be his luck. Loses out to Hobbsy. I mean, Hobbsy's an outlap to be fair, so we'll want to go again. Obviously, another one here that potentially still at risk, and this would be a big shock if Hobbsy was to go out. I mean, he's 10th, so he's not in a shocking position by any means, but he's not safe, that's for sure. As we enter the closing stages of Q1, we'll stay on board then with Hobbsy. On my point of view, as we watch him complete what will be his final lap of Q1 to cement his place into Q2. P2 last week for Hobbsy means he's currently joint 4th in the championship with DC.
Yeah, I'll hop on board with him once Cole Paradox has finished his first lap. Because Cole Paradox now only driving not to set a lap. Yeah, I think Hobbsy's main weapon is his consistency. And I think that's why Nelly Saf is so terrifying, because he is both. He has that consistency, but also that pace. Actually, Cole Paradox not quick enough to break the top 15, missing out by 9,000ths.
Well, Cole Paradox a champion, tier 3 champion last season. Him and I think I mentioned it every week. Him and Strauss had that most unbelievable champion battle last season. And where's Cole Paradox at in this season's championship?
He's not doing too bad. I think he's 6th or something, isn't he? He's not that far outside the top guys.
Yeah, he's currently 6th, not too far behind DC. And obviously, so big credit to Strauss and Cole Paradox to make that jump from tier 3 and end up being both contenders at the top of tier 2. I mean, Strauss is having an unbelievable season. He's currently that 6th, so more than comfortable in qualifying. I'm still on board with Hobbs. He's about to finish his lap. I mean, he's 12th, so he's not necessarily safe just yet. I mean, he's edging towards that, but he'll want to improve it, obviously, and just cement his place in Q2. Currently got a 17.3 and improves on that massively.
Oh, there we go.
And he goes
He'll
up to
be happy
second.
with that
That's
one.
the Hobbs we know and love.
So, Sadistic King, is he on a fast lap? I don't think he's got his ERS on. We know that Trunder's, oh whoops, I'm just got off. We know that Trunder's, Deluxy and Draper not going through. So it is now just down to Sadistic King Cole Paradox to try and break out of that awesome
Cole Paradox is
lock.
off the track. Who's done? That's him out.
Has he gone to? Yeah, it's just now Sadistic King, who's a 10th and a half red, versus 4-star, who can't improve.
Yeah, I think Sadistic King could be in trouble here, unless he has an absolutely amazing final sector. It's not easy to put a good time together in this final sector of the track with all these tight corners. I think Sadistic King could be in trouble here. I don't see him improving. Certainly not enough to get out of it. I may be wrong, but I don't see it.
Here we go. No, not going to be enough. He does interestingly improve, but just 17th, and that concludes Q1. Bottom 5, Cole Paradox, Sadistic King, Deluxe, Trunders and Draper knocked out. Quite possibly soon to be championship leader Nelu Safu taking the fastest time. Tomes, I think, the big surprise here. We know, the others up there. Certainly looking at the top. What's in fair, most of the guys now look at the names and think they're quick. But certainly among the top 4, all of them are lightning fast.
100%.
Nelu Safu, Hobbsy, Krishna, all seen huge pace from them. And Nelu Safu and Hobbsy having that consistency to just destroy the rest of the field when they get in the flow across the season.
Yeah.
Where was Nelu Safu last season? Was he tier 2? Did he just kind of...
I don't know. It's a good question. I'm not sure if he's a new driver potentially. I'm not too sure.
Because I do recognise his name. I've certainly seen him in prior seasons, but...
Both Alpines do not go through the video stuff. I forgot about that. I was going to say both Alpines through by skin their teeth, and I realised that Cole Paradox has actually not made it through. His teammate has just beat him, so Battle of the Alpines there, and it's 4-star that's just edged it over his teammate Cole Paradox, Captain Nick also, by the skin of his teeth, just over a 10th clear of Cole Paradox, edges it through. DC want to improve in Q2, only 12th fastest there, and certainly not comfortable. I mean, obviously we don't know what the weather is for this race. I'm hoping personally there's going to be a bit of rain, but I don't think there will be. I've not been told any different.
Yeah, you usually see drivers having a complaint, but no, none of them have said anything about the rain. So I suspect a dry race. So close among to qualifying. What was it? 16th was, less than 7/10. So hugely close here, and the Q2 is where it's still going to come into play, as drivers no longer can afford to make any mistakes at all. Need to set a good lap, get through, and they're going to have the same usual problem. Mediums are just nearly impossible to take through because all the drivers are so close. There's, even the best drivers seriously struggle to take them through. We'll see if anyone goes for it. Quite a lot of drivers will start off on the mediums to get a safe lap in.
I mean, it's going to be interesting because these softs are not going to last long on this track. The tyres get burnt on this track. Like you say, do you try and risk? I mean, as you can see already, if you look onto the tyres that a lot of them are going for, there's a lot of medium tyres already fitted onto these cars. I mean, a lot of them ideally want to get through into that top 10 on the medium tyre. However, it's easier said than done. I think the softs on average last about, about 6 laps on this track? I may be wrong, by the way. I've not done this track for a while, but I think it's about 6-7 laps. If that, they're not great. It's very surprising to see. I don't know. It's going to be an interesting one, like you say. I think a lot of them will want to get through on the mediums, but it won't be easy.
Yeah, Krishna first man out on track, and he's just jumping straight into the softs. And if there's any driver who can get through on the mediums, it's usually him. Nelu Safu actually, he's tried it a few times. He's made it work. I think once or twice this season, and it's so tricky to do because it needs to be the perfect lap.
It's going to be interesting. Very interesting to see how this pans out, and whether. I mean, no disrespect to a couple of them, but there's a few there like Captain Nick that may think, I might struggle to get into Q3. However, if I can get a good timing on the softs in comparison to maybe some of the quicker lads will try and get from the mediums, that could play its part. So it's going to be interesting. You can see here is a pretty even split between soft and mediums. And a lot of these guys will go out on the mediums, see how they get on, and then possibly put the soft on if they need to. Like, for example, Krishna will probably get a lap on the mediums.
Well, Krishna, he's on the soft, so...
He's on the mediums on mine.
Is he? He's got soft tyres for me. They look red. Oh, he's booed.
You know what?
Nicely saved, his tyres.
On mine, he's on medium. I mean,
they're red tyres for me.
Welcome to F1 Code Masters. There we go again. But yeah, definitely mediums on my end. So again, it's a mystery. Is he on softs? Is he on mediums? Who knows?
We'll have to keep an eye on his pace.
Yeah, that's very frustrating. We'll done hard after a lot, won't we? But yeah, I mean, I don't know. He's on mediums on my end, so we will see, I guess. Doesn't help our commentary watch. We don't know what tyres are on, does it really? Does not help us out one bit, but you know, we'll keep an eye on his pace, like you say, and we'll get an idea of it as qualifying progresses. Whether he's on soft or mediums, I have no idea.
So who else have we got currently on lap? Both
Absolutely not.
Aston's out on track, but they're both on out laps.
What tyres are they on for you?
Aston's Strauss soft and Elusafi medium.
That's right. So it's Christian then. Christian has invalidated his first lap.
Might seem hopefully go and put on a new pair of tyres that looks the same for both of us then.
Well, if he stays out, I think he's on mediums. If he goes in the pits, I think it'll be soft. So
We'll find out that way.
I have no idea. I mean, this game is stupid with stuff like this. It shouldn't be in the game at all. It's ridiculous that we've all seen different tyres on the driver's car.
Lars invalidated as well. I think Clerpiar might be the first driver to set a lap. Krishna is staying out on track. He's going around for another one. It was a plenty long session. I do wonder if we can find out by going into the race director and have a look at him that way. I'll wait for Clerpiar's lap. Strauss 17.4. It's Clerpiar on 18 flats, a bit slow for him. It's showing soft still.
It's showing mediums on mine. Oh, who knows? Who knows? It's one or the other. I don't know which one, but it's one or the other. And Strauss does have a fast snap into the 17s. Clerpiar 118 dead, so a big gap between the two who have set a lap. There's a Haas coming around the corner. Is that Hobbsy?
No, it's Lars again.
Hobbsy's just about to complete his lap though, and so is the Mercedes of Carl. Carl was up there in Q1.
Oh, he's up there again, 17 flat.
Dead on the mediums. Has he got mediums on your end as
No,
well?
he's on soft. He's on soft.
Oh,
Ooh, Krishna on a lap getting involved with... Who was that? It was one of the AlphaTauris. Only Big Bull's left, actually. Yeah, Big Bull's getting involved with Krishna. I'm not sure Krishna will be too happy about that one. Big Bull's not doing himself any favours if he's looking to get that AlphaTauri full-time seat.
Not ideal. Krishna won't be too chuffed with that either. Not set a lap either, has he? So, again, I'm assuming he's on the medium tyre, but I don't know. Maybe he's on the soft. We don't know. Only Krishna knows what tyre he's on right now. And we don't, unfortunately. I have absolutely no idea. But he's going to stay out again. I mean, sure he's on a medium then. Surely. Then again, in Q1 he did set a lot of times on the soft, didn't he? You are starting the race on his tyre potentially, so...
Doesn't want to burn it through too much. Is Nelu Safu 17.2 on the mediums. Assuming it is on the mediums.
Hobbs in a nice Aston Martin sandwich. Here comes the other Haas. Lars on his first lap goes fifth. So it's a Aston Martin Haas, Aston Martin Haas. Is Lars on mediums for you?
Yes.
Hey, on mediums for me as well. There we go.
As DeWill goes fourth fastest.
Split them both.
But
split the Haas and Aston Martin
behind two of the guys on the mediums.
We know DeWill's got pace. There's absolutely no doubt about it. Got a very good record in this league, so you'd expect him to be challenging, that's for sure.
Yeah, DeWill is the CRL driver with the most points, just in total. He's the only driver, if you add all the points across all the seasons, it's over 1,000. So.
I wonder where he was going then. I thought he may have got into a wall. I don't think he'll be starting the race on them soft. I was looking on the gravel on them, so.
Sure, he'll be looking to improve.
And I thought so. I would have thought so. Who's going to win tonight? That's the big question. I mean, I'll do my research as I always do on the Spanish Grand Prix. I found out that Michael Schumacher and Lewis Hamilton have both shared 6 victories each year. So, I mean, obviously Max Verstappen won it last year, didn't he? So it's going to be interesting as you know, 6 victories each, as you'd expect from Schumacher and Hamilton. It's always the case. They're always very close, aren't they, in terms of victories. Will it be a Mercedes or a Ferrari tonight? Well, there's a good chance at the moment.
Yeah, I'm going to say Carl Krishna and DeWill all working to make it one of those two.
So, there's a good chance. There's a good chance.
The thing is, looking at the drivers now, any of the top 7, in my opinion, could win in the race. Because all of them have the pace. It's just case of what strategy-wise, how do they manage their tyres, what battles do they get involved in, what ones are they smart enough to avoid.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, as I just mentioned, Lewis Hamilton and Michael Schumacher, there was also 9 different winners in 9 years in the Spanish Grand Prix, so it could literally go to anybody tonight. Even Captain Nick could win this race. Who knows? Here comes DC then, looking to improve on his lap, and up to 7th. Is he on mediums for you, DC?
He is. He is on mediums.
There we go. We're getting
And he's got himself a 17.4, I think. Recife, no, we're about to start another hot lap hit, so not on a fast one. There, that is a slow Ferrari. Is that Krishna just getting slow?
I'm guessing there's no rain tonight. None of the drivers have mentioned it. I mean, there's never really rain here in Barcelona. I was looking again earlier at the track, and apparently there's never been rain in the Spanish Grand Prix in Barcelona since 1996. So, yeah, I'm certainly not expecting rain. DC's now on the gravel himself. I don't know what these drivers are doing on the gravel tonight. Is he potentially letting somebody pass? Yeah, Alex has just gone past on maybe.
Strauss, purple middle sector, 10th. Green. And he is currently on the mediums, so he's actually changed tyres his previous time, set on the softs. Interesting now, improving on the mediums. Makes me wonder if he is actually on the mediums. What's Strauss on for you?
Strauss is on. He's on softs.
He's just set 69 for me on mediums, so
I have no idea what's going on here.
at that pace, I'm tempted to agree with what yours says.
I don't know. I don't know.
He might just set a lightning fast lap on the mediums.
I have absolutely no idea.
But yeah, take any of the tyre compounds with a grain of salt, because I'm not sure I believe many of them.
Yeah, Co-Masters is not helping our job out here at all. I need to apologise for that. I did just say then that Max Verstappen won it last year. I got that wrong. He didn't win here at all. Lewis Hamilton won it last season, so I got that wrong.
I can't say I was particularly sure who it was, but I just kind of, I'll let you say that fact. It might be right, it might not be. I always remember his win in 2016 here. Of course, the first one he got in that Red Bull.
Yeah, that's right. But Hamilton did win it last season. He was 15 seconds clear of Verstappen, so I got that wrong. I do apologise. It was Hamilton, Verstappen and Bottas. 66 laps last year, of course it'll be 33 for tonight's race. This was a race first held in 1991, the track length for 4.6. Oh, I know that the final set has changed a little bit now, hasn't it, in real life?
Yeah, well they've all, Alex had a small moment there. It used to be one sweeping corner and then decided for safety reasons might not be the best idea. Added in that very awkward chicane with the huge curves. I'm sure they could have thought of a better way to do this, but hey ho.
Always the case, isn't it? That is always the case. Of course, it isn't the only Spanish Grand Prix that's been held here, because I remember Valencia, for a good few years, had its own Grand Prix as well. I believe between 2008 and 2012, Valencia held the Grand Prix. So not only has it been held in Barcelona, but it's been held in Valencia as well. I think everyone knows that, though. I remember the Valencia circuit.
Can't say I do, to be honest. When was this?
You don't remember the Valencia circuit? One of my favourites, Valencia. I'll have a look. I believe it was from 2008 to 2012. I think, Valencia Street Circuit. It was held for 5 years between 2008 and 2012. I don't think it ever replaced. I don't think it replaced Barcelona. I think they had two. They had 2 Grand Prix. You don't remember that one?
Bear in mind that in 2008 I was only 5, so.
Oh, I'll let you off then. I'll let you off. It did, honestly, like, from an aerial view, it looks a bit like Monaco.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I've just googled the map now. It also it was reminding me of another track. I'm not sure which one it is, but is that the track where Webber decided to do a backflip?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't have the answer to it, but I can have a look. May possibly have been. But yeah, I do briefly remember that track. I mean, I was only about 13, 14 years old myself in 2012, but certainly do remember bits of it. Again, I think it was held alongside. I don't think it replaced Barcelona. I think it was held potentially alongside Barcelona, maybe a double Spanish Grand Prix. But yeah, from aerial view,
yeah, no, it was Valencia 2010.
Yeah, there you go then. Unfortunately, not on the game anymore. There's actually rumours that it was going to come onto the game. I think when the game first come out, like when the game was sort of teased last year, and they mentioned potentially extra tracks coming to the game. There was rumours that Valencia was one of the tracks that was brought back, but unfortunately, wasn't the case. But you never know. We may see a Valencia racing league in the future. I mean, I doubt it because the track going on now is nothing to do it. It's abandoned. But you never know. It's not impossible. Probably on an outlap now as well. He's currently 5th, obviously. So I'd say safe. I don't want to jinx it. I don't know how long's left. Because obviously I've got a big yellow flag on my screen that's not telling me how long. I don't think there's long. They've got 2 minutes left. So
yeah, well, it explains the Russia drivers in the last sector. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. 6 of them right nose to tail.
They're quite comfortable. I'm on board with 4-star at the moment, who's currently not through. He's not even set a lap yet. 3 of those drivers haven't even set a lap yet, so leaving it very late here, 4-star, and he'll be hoping to squeeze that Alpine into the final qualifying session. He did finish just ahead of his teammate, didn't he, in Q1? He actually beat
small moment for him.
Yeah, I just saw that may impact his lap a little bit. And for any drivers here tonight that have not won the F1 race before, it could be all night because according to my source, even Maldonado only ever won one F1 race.
And it was her.
It was here in Spain. So
and he got pole position as well. So
there you go.
Let's see who gets the pole.
It could happen to anyone. It could happen to anyone.
4-star rounds the final bend. Where is he going to slot into the lot? Quite a slow lap in 18.2, slowest lap we've seen so far.
Oh, Obviously setting pace. There's an Alpha Tauri off the track there. Is that big pole? It's got to be big poles. It is.
Captain Nick up to 5th.
You know.
Nick at 17.1. I think he might be good with that one. Alex next driver.
As well. Was it Tobes who was up there in Q1?
Yeah.
Let's see what he can do. He has got a bit of traffic in front of him, but he was 3 tenths up just then.
Yeah, 3.5 tenths. So actually, that'll put him in front of Captain Nick if he gets the same last sector. Might even get a bit of slipstream here from the driver in front of him.
Oh!
There we go, Tobes.
He's on fire. And Captain Nick, who we thought maybe through, he's now hanging on a little bit. He's down to 8, he's down to 9. All of a sudden, that'd be Captain Nick's look all over that, wouldn't it? You know, he thinks he's through and then bang. And he's dropping and dropping. Fully edge it through. There's a lot of drivers here that have still got a set lap.
Yeah, he's not improving this first sector this time. That 10th down. He is pushing for another lap. But no, even slower still here. Nelu Safu. Oh, Nelu Safu not going through. That is an upset. Recife about to cross the line.
Oh!
He goes to the front with an almighty time.
Well, Nelu Safu, that's...
4-star into the pit lane, knocked out. Big Ball's currently on an improvement for his laps.
Oh, Captain Nick's the track. He spun the car in the last corner. So whether he's out to improve on that, I'm not too sure, but that's him done. He's still through for now by the skin of his teeth, but there's a couple here that could beat him, including Claire PR, who's just about to enter sector 3.
Yeah, so we've got Claire PR, De Will, and Big Balls. They're the 3 left that can knock him out. Claire PR.
Claire PR looks alright. He's off the track on my screen.
Yeah, I think theoretically he should have given up. Luckily for him, he doesn't improve, so he's not getting a penalty for that one. De Will next across the line. Oh, knocks Captain Nick out. Big Ball's last driver. I think he's in the knock. I think he will. Yeah, up to 2nd for him.
And Nelu Safu starting 14th. The man in form, 2nd in the championship, and he's starting right down in 14th. That could be interesting tonight.
So Recife, huge gap to the rest of the field. Well, I guess only a 10th and a half down to Big Balls, but Big Balls 10th and a half down to the next driver. So.
Well, it's an interesting qualifying session. So we mentioned, didn't we, could it be a surprise winner? Well, at the moment, you've seen Recife do well in qualifying. We mentioned Carl before, didn't we, as well? So Tobes as well into 3rd. So could it be someone else's night? At the moment, there's a good chance, isn't there? That it could be a different winner, shall we say, in the Spanish Grand Prix. But who's going to take pole? That's the big question as we enter Q3.
Yeah, we kind of had the same drivers again and again getting onto the podium, so it's... You know, we haven't actually seen all that many drivers on the podium here. But anyway, Recife with the fastest time, and he's looking very strong here, as is Big Balls.
Just looking at DC in 6th, he was last year's Tier 2 winner in Spain. So, he's done it before. Can he do it again? That's the big question.
Oh, hang on, look at Christian's time. He got the same time as DeWill. Oh no!
It's happened to him again. He's lost out twice. How have both Ferrari had exactly the same time? And Christian's missed out again, like he did in Australia for pole. He's missed out on Q3.
Who's it showing you on mediums? I got Strauss and DeWill in the top 10 on mediums.
And Carl.
He's on softs for me.
Oh dear. No dear. The rest are on soft anyway, but yeah. The last driver to win a race in Tier 2 in Spain was DC. So he's done it before DC, so he's looking to do that twice. You know, he's got the experience of winning in Spain. Can he do it again tonight? But he was your last ever Tier 2 winner in Spain. So, and he's in Q3 as well. I always like to keep an eye on what teams have got both drivers in Q3. And I'm looking here.
I'm seeing Haas.
And that's it.
Just
So
Haas.
9 constructors in Q3. That's incredible.
Unusually, because we have got obviously AlphaTauri and Aston Martin. They're the two big ones that have it happen a lot.
Yeah.
And neither of them in that situation currently. No one going out on track yet, so I'll quickly flick onto the calendar. Round 11. Did I mention last week it was changed to Abu Dhabi?
Yes, Abu Dhabi's now on the calendar.
And also we're having
Season.
2 weeks of break week after Saudi Arabia next week. So
Well, that'll be interesting. A Saudi Arabia Grand Prix for the first time in this league. That'll be an interesting one next week. As this whole pack of cars went out the pits together. You've got an AlphaTauri, a McLaren and a Mercedes all together. Went out the pits. Hobbs' left the session. I'll try and get him back in. We don't want him to miss out on Q3. He's got a chance for pole here, obviously, so I'll try and get him back in. Very quickly, though, I have to mention it. In the Constructors' Championship, Mercedes are no longer 10th.
ooh, you've moved up, have you?
Not even 9th, they're 8th.
Ooh,
They're on the climb.
how close is it among the bottom 3? Oh, McLaren really dropped down. What happened to them?
Very close. The joint 9th. The joint 9th. With Alfa Romeo.
Oh, actually, you were 8th after round 6.
Oh, I didn't even realise
It's just
that.
well, the graphic wasn't uploaded till after the tier 1-2 races were done. So actually, I didn't realise that myself.
But Aston Martin still lead the way. There's not much in it between Aston Martin, Red Bull, Alpine, Williams, or Ferrari. In truth, is what 99 points separating first to 5th, and that's not a lot when you consider that all 4 tiers are combined in the Constructors' Championship. So it's wide open this season, and it's still anybody's game to win it. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, any one team theoretically can get 296 points from one round.
Yeah.
This Recife almost immediately invalidates in the first chicane. So humble the big balls. So he's behaving funny.
I was going to say, will we get a Spanish winner now? We've got no Spanish drivers, unfortunately, have we? But in real life, Fernando Alonso won the Spanish Grand Prix 3 times.
Yeah.
Twice here in Barcelona, and he also won the Valencia circuit as well. So, he's got a good record in his own country, which is good to see. They actually reckon that because there was talk of this circuit being replaced a couple of seasons ago, but because of Carlos Sainz's performances and also obviously Fernando Alonso returning as well last season, that they've kept it because the attendance has shot up since the Spanish drivers have come into play.
Yeah,
we've got Spanish fans want to watch Spanish drivers.
Alonso coming back, but of course, Carlos
Yes.
Sainz and Ferrari is a big one, and we saw him beat Leclerc, who's widely considered an amazing driver. So Spain doing very well within F1 at the moment. And of course,
100%.
Usually British dominated, for better or worse. But
I would love to see a World Cup in F1. Imagine a World Cup where you have 2 drivers representing a nation like Sainz and Alonso representing Spain, for example. That'd be so good.
what equal cars do it by country?
Yeah, I don't think it'll ever happen, but it'd be such a good concept if Big Balls puts the first lap.
Oh, and Tobes.
Just very quickly follows him with another ridiculous lap. What has Toby had for breakfast? Carl then beats him. Ridiculous tonight.
Who's our next one?
That'd be amazing. Like an F1 World Cup. Imagine that, like 10 different teams, like battling it out. Oh, that'd be incredible. I mean, and I don't think it'll ever happen by any means. Can you imagine like the liveries of the nations? Oh, it'd be so good.
Yeah, well, I know within was it GT Sport? They often used to have kind of, I can't remember what they called their championships, but they had drivers race their nation's colours whenever they were racing the X2014 cars. As misses out by 1/100th, Alex Dakar. Obviously, still plenty of time to improve. DC next man to the line with a 17. flat. But it always looks so nice when you just see, you know, drivers representing the nation. Of course, for them it can mean a lot.
I think that'd be great. Again, I don't think it'll ever happen, but if it did happen, it'd be class. I did a bit of research on the Valencia track very quickly. Apparently, the plan was for them to sort of alter each year, which, you know, so do Barcelona 1 year, very quick one. Latifi now gets a 16.4.
Calm down.
The times are increasing and increasing. Yeah, apparently the plan was to sort of alternate every year. So they do Barcelona 1 year, then Valencia, then Barcelona, then Valencia. But apparently the Valencia circuit didn't end up getting as much publicity as Barcelona, unfortunately. So they pulled it from the calendar, which is a shame. But there you go. There's 2 wheels next. And you get in the mix. He's in the 16s, to be fair. He's not a million miles away.
Yeah, I mean, the fact is he's in the 16th and he's only 5th. It goes to show how fast the field is. Since we've found some more pace after the first session. Strauss, 5th fastest now. Hobbs invalidated the next man, then it'll be DC if he's aiming to improve. No, he won't be. So...
Well, this is a track normally that is used to win the testing, isn't it? Used to get used to winning the testing at what?
Yeah, well, I think it was used this year, wasn't it? This pre-season test there wasn't as much footage advertised.
Ah, yes, potentially, yeah. I'll be honest with you, I don't normally watch pre-season. I'm one of them. I don't really enjoy
validating. No, I kind of I keep an ear out for pre-season, but I don't really watch it.
I'll have a sort of a listen now and then and have a look at it, but I'm not one that normally watches. I do know that Barcelona gets used a lot on it for pre-season normal. But yeah, I'm not one for pre-season. I just like to watch the season. Who's your favourite Polar at the moment?
I gotta say Ziffy. You can't really say anyone else with those times. I'd love to see Tobes up there, but I don't think he quite has the pace.
I think Hobbsy could be a late shout though. He's on his lap now. It could be a big lap for Hobbsy because obviously we know he can compete at the top. There's absolutely no question about it. Like I mentioned, he's in that great battle with DC at the moment for 4th. Both level on points in the championship. So a purple sector, of course, doesn't necessarily mean you've got the quickest sector, but it's going to be up there. There's 5 minutes to go in Q3, and we'll keep an eye on Hobbsy. Of course, Haas are the only constructor that have both their drivers in Q3. Where Haas in the championship, they're down in 6th, so this could do them a lot of favours if they can get a good result tonight. That's for sure. Where will Hobbsy go? He will go to P4 on the second row of the grid. Teammate Elijah gets to set a time and currently in the garage.
Yeah, actually got a brief lull in the drivers, so I will stick up the standings now, just going to have a quick look at the full thing. Yeah. So obviously Calcoen currently leading, but Calcoen not racing here. So he's missing around. Nellis Affer just 10 points behind. 3 drivers, well I guess 2 drivers, capable of taking the lead off in both Aston Martins. Though Nelly Safi not into the top 10. So he of course will certainly be starting on the mediums. But
all to play for, isn't it? You know, Calcoen not here tonight, Nelly Safi only starting 14th. Spain, not an easy track to make overtakes. I mean, they've obviously got a long straight, but other than that, it can be quite a difficult track to make overtakes. Is it 2 DRS zones, I believe, in Spain?
Yes, yeah, you got the main straight. No, is there 2? What's that extra go thing?
No, there's one where Hobbs is now.
Yeah, there's one on the main straight.
So, you know, there is opportunity, but it's not an easy circuit to make moves. And Nelu Safi will not want to get involved in traffic. He will not want to pick up any early damage, which is always a risk when he's starting down in 40, picking up that early damage. I think, I'm going to make a very bold prediction, but I think whoever started 11th, I can't remember who 11th was. It may have been Nick potentially.
It was Krishna, because do you remember he missed out the one? He got the same time as DeWill.
Same time as DeWill. I think Krishna could be favourite tonight, and it may sound stupid, but I think starting 11th on the mediums. I can't remember which of these. There's a couple that are starting on mediums, isn't there, in the top 10, but on fresh mediums, Krishna could be one to watch tonight. I think it could be his night tonight to get a big result. I mean, he's only on. I mentioned it before that we only on 37 points Krishna this season. I think a win tonight and more than double his points, Kelly. I think it could be his night tonight. Starting 11th. I'm gonna make a bold prediction with that.
Yeah, drivers now starting to come back out on track, so we'll hop back on board with them.
It's like for pole. Here we go. 3 minutes to go here, so you know, like you say, it's going to be a Final push, a final opportunity to take pole position here and start on that front row. I'm going to stick on board with DC, I think. He's going to be the first person to get underway on a lap.
Yeah, one of our 3 wonderful head admins, DC.
The race winner here, of course, as we mentioned the last time.
Oh, letting Recife through.
Oh, he's letting the Ferrari through as well.
Looking for a cheeky bit of slipstream, or is this?
Well, is he going to let Do-Will through? Maybe on the straight. I mean, Do-Will's not too far behind. I don't think he's going to let him through.
No.
Slipstream, that for DC. I think that's what it is. Oh, maybe not. Here comes Do-Will flying past him, so maybe not. Give himself some space, isn't it? He don't want to get. I'm like that. Even on on a lap, even if someone not too close to me, but I can see him on the map, it puts me off a little bit. I like to have clear track, so.
Yeah, I'll hop aboard with Recife then. Our current provisional pole sitter, and not even by a small margin either. He's got 3.5 tenths of the rest of the field.
Yeah.
It's not even his fastest lap today.
Fourth, they're all on 16.7s, and then there's a couple on 16.8s, so it's wide open for this front row, that's for sure.
Yeah, just one driver yet to settle up. So Lars, of course, still needs to find his place. Recife, what's he doing? He's not actually going for a lap, he's just pulled over to the side. So we'll hop on board with De-Will.
I'm very surprised that he's now going again. That's interesting.
Is that his cheeky way of looking for slipstream down the main straight, or?
Oh, that's a strange one.
He can't afford to make a big mistake in his. Well, I guess he's now technically kind of an outlap again.
Yeah.
Because it's not a huge amount of time. Strauss not going to get another lap after the one he's on now. Same with Alex.
Is Do-Will now going to be the first driver to?
Yes. Yes, he will be.
Yellow flag as well.
That's Tobes. I think he should be able to make it round, but he doesn't want to mess up too badly. Actually, he was 100th green in the first sector. De-Will, he's got nearly 2 tenths. And those 2 tenths mean an awful lot given where he is. He can keep this pace up, we might see him get onto the front row alongside Recife. Going slightly deep into the final chicane, not really abusing the curbs as much as he could be. It's up to car stay settled, but we'll see where he ends up. Come around the last corner. 16.6, he is up to the front row. DC nabs it off him.
Recife's next, but of course not. He's only got 14 seconds, he will make it. Will Tobes make it?
He's going to need to. I think it's close. No. Tobes, yeah, he's not improving.
Strauss is next, currently down in 8th, 3rd in the championship to tier 3.
Do you know what? I think Tobes would have made it if he'd gone for it. He would have been close.
Strauss across the line and goes second. Now, advantage Strauss because Calco is not here tonight. Teammates down in 14th. Advantage Strauss. Here comes Alex next in the Williams. He goes pole. Alex out of nowhere.
Carlson validated.
Obviously
the man after him, followed by his teammate.
Over to Haas we go.
What can
both the 2 next ones.
4 tenths off the leader. He'll be looking to find as much of that as he can, gain as many positions up to 4th position. He'll be fairly happy with that, I think. Maybe he's hoping for a bit more, but can't complain too much. Lars, next driver.
At the back.
Slow one from him.
He goes, he's flying here. 6th. Do-Will back again. Stays 7th. DC. Stays 5th. Are we done then?
No, we've got Recife.
Oh, is Recife going again?
Oh, that was a very quick catch. I'm not sure that will cost him all that much.
Can Recife get pole in the
Yes, he can!
Right at the death. I think that was.
How much did he get it by?
Right at the death of the second to go. He has snapped pole. I think it was a 16.3. It was a 16.3.
Oh, 16 thousandths, there we go. The top 9 separated by half a second.
Say something, that's no disrespect to Recife or Alex, that's 2 shock drivers at the top 2 there, 100%. Brilliant. And if you look at the top 10, sorry, the top 9, 9 different constructors in the top 9. It's just like, that's just mental. That's ridiculous. Crazy qualifying session, and well done to Recife and Alex, to be fair. Very close battle between them two. Recife just taking it, just nicking it right at the death. But a big well done to all. I mean, to be fair, like, when you've got 9 different constructors in the top 9, and that isn't it? Very rare occurrence.
Yeah, you know what? I've never got myself down around working out the maths behind what's the average number of teams you get into the Q3. It's the kind of thing I just like working out, but might do that before next race, see what it's the average number to be. Obviously, it's going to be far less in actual F1. They're not in equal cars. Actually, I've got to ask you, what did you think of the essentially no side pod Mercedes today? I don't know if you saw any images of it, but essentially Mercedes have just decided, what happens if we get rid of our side pod? What will our car be like?
Apologies, I am back. I was just doing what is it you said? Sorry, apologies for that.
I was asking for your thoughts on the Mercedes car with no side pod, or very little side pod.
It's an interesting one, isn't it? That's for sure.
Yeah, you got Ferrari with these big, beefy side pods, and then Mercedes coming on. I thought, what if we just don't have one?
We don't want that. We don't want that. It's interesting. I mean, I think this season's going to... I wouldn't like to call it, put it that way. I think it's going to be a very, very, very tight season.
Apparently Recife was on for a 16.1.
Oh, he had a bit of a wobble, didn't he, at the end, though, didn't he?
Well, he's given a reason. Was on for 16.1, but my friend decided to scream in the party, and I lost the wheel on the last chicane.
Look, it didn't cost him in the end. He still got pole. Fair play to him. Fair play to him. You can see it looks like we've got nice, clear sunshine over Barcelona for this round 7 race here in Tier 2. So, no sign of rain again tonight. I don't think we'll get rain next week either, because we're in Saudi Arabia. I don't think we're going to get rain there next week.
No, not most likely places, is it? I know it is theoretically possible, but it's...
You never know. I see tyres on it. I mean, hopefully our tyres are both the same on our screen. I mean, the weather is beaming. It's a lovely day in Barcelona. There's going to be no rain here tonight by the looks of it. And the tyres, Strauss in third on the medium.
Strauss, DeWill and Carl are the 3. Krishna's gone on to the softs. So those 3 all into Q3 on the mediums. Then we've got, Sadistic King Deluxe on the hards. And further down, Nelu Safu, 4-star, his teammate Cole Paradox, the other Alpine. Then Trunders and Draper all on the mediums himself. 3 guys.
I must admit, I'm surprised at Krishna on the softs. I'd have gone on mediums there. You know, the fresh mediums. I mean, I know that obviously Strauss, Duell and Carl are on mediums. They're not brand new. I'd have gone on the mediums there. I think Nelu Safu could be in a good position. He can keep his nose clean on a medium tyre. That's true. Them softs aren't going to last very long, are they, at all? So, I'm quite surprised.
If Strauss can hold the guys behind him, I don't know how old those tyres are going to be, but I think he'll be fairly happy with where he's got himself.
Well, there's a strategy: soft, medium, or a medium hard. According to the game, that's the predicted strategy. Pitting at lap 14 on the mediums, hard to the end. You're not going to be able to do a soft medium on this track. Forget about it. That's not going to happen. No chance. If someone does that, then fair play. But no, not a chance. So it's going to be interesting. I think Strauss, like I see, his job's just going to try and hold, just try and get through on these mediums, not get into any trouble. If a few soft runners get past him, then so be it. It's not the end of the world. His time will come. Whereas I think Recife and Alex need to try and get away on the softs and pull a bit of a gap.
Yeah, I mean, their job will be to work together and distance Strauss. But also Strauss can be a bit of a human shield for them. Because Alex is unlikely to be attacked by Strauss. I mean, Strauss, not slow, but... you won't have to worry as much about Strauss than you would someone else behind him.
What's he doing? Looks in the wall.
Is he? Cool.
It's not a good stand on the formation lap, is it? You don't want that on the hard on the formation lap.
He's got his front wing intact, so...
A lot of dust on track as well. I'm noticing a lot of dust on the track then. But obviously he'll not want that to happen when the race starts. It is a very difficult first 2 corners where it can go very wrong if you're not careful.
Last 3 drivers pulling onto the grid. Stick it on position change. We can see who the big gainers and losers are. And hopefully it gives me a better camera angle on this. Looks like we're watching from the back as we now see 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights are up. And away they go. Very short hold there. Some of the drivers might have been caught out by that one. Up front you can already see some people gaining and losing positions. Recife, very good start. Alex a bit slower. He's going to have to worry about Strauss on the outside. Strauss keeping him there, but able to fend off Hobbs. DeWill's already up 2 positions. DC down 2. Down 3 now for DC. Further down the order. Very good start by Recife. Already distancing the rest of them. Not pulling what the Silver Arrows did a few years back. Anyone. Strauss, yeah, he's only lost one position so far.
Nick and Tobes off the track, they're both on the track. Captain Nick and Tobes are both off. Contact between the two of them.
Club are
Tobes
involved
seems
as
to
well.
have got it a little bit better than...
I think...
Yeah, 2 or 3 cars coming together there.
Actually, whatever Tobes did, he managed to save it pretty well if he's up to 16th. Right behind his team.
It was a great launch by Krishna and the Ferrari. I know as soon as light went off, it was away. Krishna, I questioned him good on the soft, but he's already up 3 places. A bad start for DC, who's down to 9th, but Krishna got a great launch on the soft, and he's already putting pressure on the Mercedes car.
Yeah, they're looking very, very strong for him here. Who are the medium runners again? Is it... You know, De Will's doing mighty fine here, because he's on the mediums as well, and he started 7th position.
Yeah, he's right on the back of Strauss, De Will. Right on the back of Strauss. There's no DRS just yet. Strauss, he's under pressure from De Will. Hobbsy up 1 into 3rd. The top 2 have stayed the same. And to be fair to he's already pulled over a second. As Cole Paradox, Trunders, all in the pits. The penalty for Drapes has had an awful start to this race as well. Deluxey in the pits, so it's been a bad start for Blackfield. Falling into the pits and a penalty for the Red Bull of Drapes. This game got 4 places, forced out 3. Nelu Safu, mentioned in the info man at the moment, race winner last week, 2nd in the championship, got a chance tonight to go to the top of the championship with Calco and not being here. He's currently up 3 places, so a respectable start from Nelu. He's currently sat behind Sofran with Lars.
Yeah, and Recife, you're already 1.3 seconds down to Alex. And actually, Strauss losing ground to Hobbsy a little bit. Big Ball's currently the driver chasing down the 2 guys on the medium tyres. Actually, we've got a championship leader, Calco, and wishing the drivers good luck here.
Love that. The big gap already down from 4-star to Swift King. Both McLaren seem to be in a bit of their own pack here. A big gap separating them from the front runners, but also a big gap separating them down to the likes of Drake. You see 3 seconds, over 3 seconds from 12 down strips, and then 5 seconds from 4-star to Swift King. So both McLaren in a bit of a DRS train together, trying to help each other catch back up potentially. As DRS becomes enabled now as well, we're on to lap 3, and Recifi's lead's getting bigger and bigger, now 1.7 down to Alex, who's quickly becoming under pressure from Hobbsy. Hobbsy already at 1 place ahead of Strauss, and he's quickly reeling in the Williams driver Alex to that P2 spot as the race progresses as we approach the 4th lap, and Soft will start to die pretty soon.
Yeah, Big Balls will be wanting to get past these guys, because every second he's stuck behind them is, another second that he can't utilise the softs as much. I think he's about to go through his first DRS zone.
He'll get the DRS here. You won't get Alex at this occasion, it's a shorter of the 2 zones, but it'll certainly close the gap even further to Alex, who could be in real danger from Hobbsy once the straight comes around in a few moments' time on lap 4. Gap now.
And Hobbsy, I think.
Williams of Alex and the Haas of Hobbsy.
Hobbsy quite possibly going to be able to prevent Strauss from getting DRS here. I think he has it. That gap did not quite go down. Maybe because Recife again, fastest lap for him. So Hobbsy closing that gap down a lot. You know what? He can right in his tail and might go for a move. Alex forced to defend. On the inside, Hobbsy on the outside. Can he hold it? No, he can't. He goes slightly deep, not able to hold it side by side. And Alex does for the moment retain that P2 position. It's all giving Recife more of a gap to the 2 of them, 2.5 seconds now. See if he goes for a move. Going to have to just sit behind him. Gets that middle sector DRS zone. I'm not sure if it'll be long enough to go for a move.
Yeah, it's a nice clean battle that between the 2 of them. You know, like Hobbsy may have had their move done, and then of course Alex defended well. Nice battle between the 2, but Alex still under pressure on Hobbsy now. There are only 2 tenths separating the 2 of them. This is helping Recife out because that gap's getting bigger and bigger. 2.4 seconds down the gap down to Alex. And once again, he's going to be in trouble from Hobbsy. You can see Hobbsy, they've got very similar battery, but Hobbsy just using the DRS, and I think on the straight again, I'll try and get, if he can stay close through sector 3 on a better launch on lap 5 and a better opportunity of getting him on the main straight before turn 1.
Yeah, this kind of group still very much DRS train. Actually, Strauss not being dropped by Hobbsy. Slowed down by the fact he's behind Alex. So I think this time Strauss, has he got DRS this time? Yes, he does. And that's not good news for Hobbsy. Because that means that entire train behind him is going to close up on him.
Hobbs and Alex, so what's the wheel to wheel again at turn one? He obviously got the outside line, going to try and make a move. It's a lovely move from Hobbs. Can he make it stick? Alex going to come back at him though. Alex on the inside this time. It's a VSC just come out as Hobbsy gets past him as the VSC comes out. He's got a bit of a wobble there himself. I'm not too sure why the VSC's come out. I'll be honest with you, I have no idea.
I suspect it's someone further down the field. That's just Draper in the pit lane, isn't it?
Possibly Drake.
I think it could be one of the guys in the last sector, any of the bottom four.
Well, Drake's has got a new wing, so potentially it's something that's involved the Red Bull driver.
We'll have a quick
Hobbs
look
will be
for
just getting that move.
front wings.
As the VSC come out.
Not seeing any missing front wings amongst these guys. So we'll see. Alex will be waiting to pounce on Alex will be waiting to pounce on Hobbs as soon as he can. Ooh! And Nello Safa getting drive-through penalties, pushing the VSC too much.
Oh dear me. That's big. And if you're Carl Collins sat at home, you see people laughing at that, rubbing your hands. But what a chance for Strauss now. When you look at Strauss's position, he's still in fourth, the highest medium runner. Carl Cohen's not here tonight, his teammates down in with a drive-through pen. Advantage Strauss at the moment, he could to the top of the championship himself tonight at this rate.
And even DC, well actually Hobbs is doing a good job here, but DC not doing particularly amazing, so he doesn't have to worry about it. Attack from behind in terms of the championship. A big gap down to them, 35 points, but you know, you still can't not worry about it.
Well, now Safu's serving his drive-through, now he's going to drop him down and down and down. He may luckily stay 15th because the gap then is quite big to call apart. I think he will stay 15th, he will stay 15th. But a nightmare start for Nelu Safu, who gained a few positions. He's going to lose them again now, down one place. Not a good start, only getting 1 point as it stands tonight. Strauss and Hobbsy are the biggest winners at the moment in terms of that top 5 in the championship, that's for sure. Hobbsy now has pulled a bit of a gap tonight, so he'll still be in DRS of him, but Hobbsy's challenge now, if you like, is to try and close that gap down to Recife as we approach lap 7, and then soft will start to integrate now on this track, and they'll be due the medium tyre or hard tyre very, very soon. I know Hobbsy very well, I know that he does like the hard tyres, so I think see Hobbsy goes for the hards or goes for the medium, he's due to pit very soon.
Yeah, I reckon, what was it, lap 14, so still going to have a bit more time to go on them. They're going to become the slower tyre in a few laps, and that's when Strauss, DeWill, Carl, they'll just pounce on the guys around them, they'll be able to get through.
Well, Alex hasn't got DRS on Hobbsy, but Strauss has got DRS on Alex, so Strauss very quickly reeling in the Williams of Alex, and even the Haas of Hobbsy is not much in it at all. Dougall's also quite nice. It's quite a big training, to be fair, of cars that are following Hobbsy.
Yeah, it's still Hobbsy down to Lars.
Lars, yeah, so it's Haas at the front of the train, Haas at the back of the train, but it's a big train. Even 4-star, to be fair, is not a million miles behind. He's up 4 places, 4-star. The most on track at the moment, so a good start for the Alpine driver. Yeah,
and of course if this train keeps fighting, then the 4-star is going to gain on them. He's going to have the advantage in the soft drivers in a few laps. So it looks like that train will increase up to 10 drivers. Deluxey setting the fastest lap on his fresh medium tyres.
We're yet to see a DNF to that. If I just jinx it, hopefully not, but at 7 laps in, we're approaching lap 8, and this race is absolutely flying by. As if you, to be fair, still kept that 2.4, 2.5 second gap to the car behind him. On Alex, of course, now it's Hobbsy, but I think Alex could be in trouble from Strauss here on the straight. It's out of DRS of Hobbsy at the moment, which could cost him.
Yeah, we'll see if he...
If he's pitting, that's interesting.
Ah.
That is interesting. Alex doesn't get DRS. Or does he? I can't tell. He doesn't. No, he doesn't.
No.
So Strauss again. Close that gap there.
Big gap to close. Looking behind, Big Ball's looking for a move on DeWill, decides better of it. Tucks back in.
So Recife picks onto the mediums, and they'll come out behind Terrific King in 14th. So it'll be McLaren, Alfa Romeo, McLaren, Alfa Romeo. As if he comes out in 14th, pitting early on the medium, will that pay off? We'll have to find out. Was it a 2.4 second gap to Hobbsy? So we'll see whether that's paid off for Recife.
I think it's a bit more than that by the end of it. The Hobbsy is pulling away from Alex now, and Forster actually is opposite of what we expected, not gaining on that train. Sorry, excuse me. But so I do wonder if Forster has either minor damage or just his tyres not looking too good. Cal going wanting to keep the Astons where they are now. Strauss is in a half-decent position. Actually, Strauss finishes where he is now. He's 1 point behind Cal going. He's 29 points down, isn't he? I think. I'll have a quick check.
Strauss was a tier 3 runner-up.
Oh, I can't count.
To win the title. Can he win the tier? Can he go from being a tier 3 runner-up to a tier 3 champion? That would be incredible. But Alex is now pitting, so he's the next soft runner.
No, sorry.
Obviously where he is.
Strauss finishes where he is. He's in the lead by 1 point.
Let's see where Rizifi comes in. Rizifi stuck behind Sadistic King. Will that cost him?
Big.
Will he be able to come out ahead of Alex? That's the question.
He's getting really close in this train here. To Will, Big Balls, Carl and Krishna right nose to tail now.
He flies past Sadistic King, and to be fair, Rizifi has pulled a big gap on Alex there as well. So you just wonder, is it paid off for Hobbs sticking for a couple of laps to find out? But no, Rizifi's flying here on the mediums. Hobbs still on the soft, but due a pit stop very soon. The next car is Rizifi. Is his teammate captain it? This could be interesting. This could be very interesting. Does captain it let him pass, or does he hold him off? Or Rizifi will be open, but lets him pass. This will be very interesting.
Yeah, we might see a move come through in this DRS zone. He's too far back, isn't he? I mean, he's got DRS, but I think he'll be waiting until the main straight.
Look at that train behind Hobbsy, that's ridiculous. Will Hobbsy pit now? That is the question. Will he approach lap 10? No! He's making them soft stick in comparison to Rizifi and to Alex. Strauss, of course, on the mediums. Duil also on the mediums, sticking out on track as Big Balls under pressure from the Mercedes of Carl, but also get DRS on Duil as well as Lars and Tobes go into the pits. Look at the battle for second here, though. It's so close between 4 or 5 cars.
Yeah, 5 cars, 2 Ferraris in there.
As Rizifi sets the fast lap of the race, then mediums are flying at the moment. You've got to think that he's on fire at the moment. Rizifi, he flies past his teammate, sets fastest lap, and he's climbing on the mediums. Hobbsy could be in trouble when he pits. The longer he leaves, I think he could be at more of a risk, Hobbsy, of losing that position.
Yeah,
purple sector Rizifi as well. He's cruising here. He'll be absolutely cruising.
I think
where is he in the championship?
That's a good question. He's not the top 5. Sorry, excuse me.
He's flying. Absolutely flying tonight.
I will have a quick check. Rizifi currently P8 in the championship, sitting on 59 points. He's kind of at the front of the group that none of them have had a particularly amazing result yet. So they're all kind of 59 down to, I guess, 19 points. No real big jumps between the points.
He's flying Rizifi. I mean, he's setting purple sector here, and is Hobbsy going to pit now? He does pit now. This will be interesting. He's pitting 3 laps after his rival Rizifi had pitted. So this will be interesting now. There's no doubt Hobbsy will come out behind Rizifi, but it's a question how much time has Hobbsy lost on the Alfa Romeo driver? That is the question.
Yeah, so I'm kind of surprised that Big Ball's still fending off Carl. Not the easiest track to overtake, especially in this DRS train. But Carl is going to be on a preferable tyre. You'd expect now the mediums to be up on the soft.
Alex feels wheeling turn 1 again, and Alex just stays ahead of Hobbsy. There's a yellow flagging. Sadistic King retired on track. That could be a safety car, you know.
No. Oh, yeah. He's
a safety car. Just as Hobbsy hits mediums. That could be very interesting. But Sadistic King is out of the Grand Prix on lap 11. Our first safety car and our first DNF of the night.
Yeah, I think that was caused by a bit of vertical racing. I wonder if that was collision with another driver, just a mistake, trying to push it too hard side by side, or what caused that. Sadistic King, not one of the drivers who practices a massive amount, so of course there won't be too much he's lost out on, but won't be too happy about being knocked out a third of the way through the race. Some drivers will be absolutely cheering, able to pit now. Others, Krishna will be crying. He's going to have to double stack with DeWill here. Same with... Actually, I guess Rizifi probably won't pit, will he? But Captain Nick... yeah, we actually won't have that problem then. So yeah, both Ferraris are in pits. Has anyone not pitted? DeWill stayed out on his mediums.
Oh, that's an interesting one.
So I wonder if that's... I'm not sure if he needed to do that. It's possible that he just communicated with Krishna and said, alright, I'll let you pick. So I'd say there's a pretty high chance that those two are in a party together. Draper.
Well, it's an interesting one because you know Strauss and Carl have gone for the medium hard, so it's 4-star, but a couple have gone on to the medium, so it's going to be an interesting strategy this now.
Strauss coming out just behind Rosifi. There we go, that Ferrari car matching the Mercedes in colour. I'd say I think I definitely prefer the 2022 Mercedes safety car to this year's one. Or I guess last
I agree.
year's. I think the bigger wing really makes it look more sporty. And I know it's a good car anyway, but that kind of just adds to it. And if it makes the safety car quicker, I'm sure the drivers won't be complaining as well.
What do you think that Doolittle strategy is here? Because he's not pitted.
So there were two reasons he wouldn't pit. One, he knew double stack wasn't a good idea, and he decided he'd try something else to give Krishna let Krishna have it, not lose too much time. Because I know those two get on well. I suspect they're in a party together. It's possible he wants to try something different, push his mediums a bit further, and just go for a one-stop. Gain a few extra positions here, avoid it, because he knows this way he's ahead of Rosifi. He can hold Rosifi up. We can certainly try to. Not sure how long the mediums will go for him. We'll see how it works out. I mean, I'm not really the person to ask on F1 strategy.
Well, he's the only one that's not pitted. It's going to be interesting. I mean, he's going to try and defend, and I mean, I don't know. I mean, he's not going to do a medium soft, really, I don't think. I mean, it's going to be a ridiculous push. I mean, I don't think it'll happen. I can't see it happening at all.
Yeah, if there is more safety cars, then obviously next safety car will certainly pit.
We're looking at another lap as well, yeah. If you look at Draper, he's nowhere near.
Yeah. Well, we saw DeWill was only just behind Draper. Draper came out the pit lane, only just in front of DeWill, narrowly missing out getting put down a lap. So I think you're right that it will be lap 14. Oh, your microphone's going a bit funny, Hedge.
Oh, sorry. Are we okay?
Actually, I think it might be me echoing through your mic or something. I'm not sure. It sounds very robotic, but it has now stopped.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's lap 14. It's normally quite generous safety car in terms of letting people catch up. So I think we're looking at a lap 14 restart here. I'd be very surprised if not.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that one. How many laps of racing will that leave by the end? 19 laps. So you can probably go to the end on the mediums then. Certainly on those guys in the hard to be able to go to the end if they want to. Rosifi might be having a bit of a push for it, same with DC.
It's a hell of a race so far. You know, not much drama in terms of safety cars and DNFs, but a great strategy battle as well. You know, it's going to be interesting to see how this race progresses now as we enter not the closing stage. But anyways, there's still a long way to go, but we're into the back end of the race, and you know, some on them fresh mediums, some on the fresh hards. There's not any soft tyres in sight now. You've got Doolittle, the only driver yet to have pitted on the mediums. You know, how long can he hold on? Even Rosifi, to be fair, I mean, he's on fresher mediums, but not the freshest compared to the likes of Krishna and
but of course,
and
some of the laps on
well.
those mediums will be behind safety cars, so actually they're fresher than they look, but still,
True.
obviously, more wear than the rest of them.
So it's interesting here as well. I mentioned before, I think how Hobbs and DC level on points in the championship. They're both together now on track. Could be that could be interesting. But it will come in at the end of this lap because Jakes has now caught up, so it'll come at the end of lap 14 onto lap 15. Plenty of laps of racing to go.
Well, I think the safety car only does 3 laps, right?
Yes, I don't think it'll do any. I mean, it's not going to do any longer now, is it? Anyway, because they've all caught up. But yeah, Hobbs and DC in a bit of battle. We know that Alex has set some great pace tonight as well. We've already seen him and Hobbs in a bit of a battle, so a nice little clear. What's the word I'm looking for? Nice little group of cars there, shall we say?
Oh, look at
Even
this.
further forward as well. You look at Strauss on the hards, Carl on the hards. You know, how will they do? Obviously, as the race progresses, them hards will be the better tyre. But I mean, at the moment, you fancy the likes of Big Balls to get past Strauss, who's on the hards there.
Yeah, I'm just looking at this. We've got a lot of champions on this grid throughout different tiers. Cole Paradox obviously won Tier 3 last season. DeWill has won multiple championships. Alex has won them in the past Who else?
Alex is tier 4 champion, I believe.
No, Alex won tier 2 a while back. Alex.
Oh, didn't he? Why did I think he won tier 4? Where did that come from? Maybe I just dreamt that. I don't know where it's come from then.
Sadistic King won season 3. Alex got season 4. 4-star also a champion. Is he in this race? He is. So yeah, 4-star
He
won.
is.
Yeah, he got season tier 3 season 4.
Battle of the champions, isn't it?
So there's a lot of them on the screen. It's only now I realised looking at the names. I don't. Who else have we got? I don't think anybody else has won championship. Some of them got close to it.
Yeah, Strauss is a tier 3 one up, of course, last season, isn't it? For example, so there's a few that have been very close to it. We do get.
Wait, DeWill's just gone.
Oh.
Hang on, why was Recife waiting? Recife.
He got damaged. Oh, he got damaged, Recife. In the back of Dowill.
And interestingly, Recife held up the rest of the field behind him while DeWill went off into the distance. So, but look at these second through fifth here. Look at them go.
What has happened at the back as well? Because there's a captain nicked off the track. Tobe was off the track as well. So I'm not sure what happened there. I'm just wondering, was that a, sort of a chain effect because of Recife? I mean, Recife will be absolutely livid with that. Up to second, flying this race, the pole sitter. He's now down to 19th. He did hit the back of Dowill and got damaged and got a penalty for his troubles as well. So I'm sure the stewards will be having a look at that later on. But Dewill's took off here and he's gone.
Yeah, I mean, weirdly, it was Recife that helped him so much. Because I would have thought, after the contest, Recife is going to be angry at DeWill of anyone. So his first thought would be, right, make sure the rest of the drivers can attack him. I'll pop into the bits now. But instead he kind of slowed everyone up.
Well, I mean, it's harsh on Recife. Very, very harsh. We've seen it 3 times this season where the pole sitter has not ended up having the best of races. I mean, it's a long way to go in this race, and Ricife's got great pace, and safety car comes out, etc. He's back in the race, but it's a big, big, big blow for him now, and I'd be very surprised if the stewards don't get involved with that later on.
Yeah, big balls. Look at him go. He's already closing down on DeWill and pulling away from Strauss. Now Strauss is on the hard tyre, and of course, Big Balls does have the advantage that his tyres aren't ancient like DeWill's are. As we see Krishna and Strauss side by side through the first chicane. The touch between them and Krishna goes around. Needs to try and get off the racing line as quick as he can. Oh, who's that? Lars also going round there. 2 drivers.
Oh dear me. The safety car restart has caused chaos here. Absolute chaos.
Yeah, rejoining
Lars and Krishna.
16th and 17th.
I think that one of the stewards could have a look at later. Big contact between the two of them there. And Krishna, another one. We mentioned it before, didn't we? Had this great poly pace, but can't seem to get any type of luck once race day comes around. And once again, he's had an incident there, down in 16th and out of the points at the moment as well.
Yeah, there's still 19 drivers going at nearly the halfway mark of the race. And we've only lost 1 driver. So looking good for them so far. I don't want to commentators curse it, but
there'll be a 10-car pile to turn on now. You said that.
Yeah.
Hobbsy and DC still very, very close together as well. As Hobbsy has a bit of a moment there on the curb, and the ERS is enabled now. So could DC maybe have an opportunity to get Hobbsy on this lap? Hobbsy had a bit of a wobble there coming out the final corner, of course. No DRS for DC on this occasion, as it's only just become enabled now, but a great battle here between the likes of DC, Hobbsy, Alex, Carl, etc. as well, not too far ahead. DC had a bit of a moment himself there coming out of turn 2, so a couple of mistakes from them both there, but for now Hobbs stays ahead of his rival in the championship.
Yeah, Big Ball's now in the DRS of DeWill. So we'll make sure to keep an eye on that gap because that might close quite quickly. Tiny lock up there from Strauss. Didn't really seem to affect how he took the corner. And of course Strauss having car behind him on the hard tyres is beneficial to him. As he's not having to worry about the driver on the fresh mediums too much. The gap now down to nearly half a second between the front two. They're all going to be under serious threat on the main straight. I wonder when he plans on pitting. Because at the moment the field's still fairly condensed after the safety car. But actually more split than it normally would be due to whatever happened between him and Recife. Currently sitting back.
Just keep an eye on road with the Aston Martin Nelly Safa, who started 15th up to 9th. Nello Safu knows he's had a good opportunity tonight to jump Cal Cohen, who's not here tonight, and take the lead of the championship. It's not quite worked out for Nello Safu tonight. For one way or another, his qualifying pace wasn't up there. He is about to jump force down, get himself up to P8, as the other Aston Martin loses the position to Carl on the main straight. But Nello Safu in 8th at the moment. He's got a train of cars just up the road ahead of him, but at the moment not capitalising on the fact that Cal Cohen's not here tonight. As Big Ball's getting very close to the back end of Duel. Like I say, not pitted just yet. Maybe the soft medium soft is doable to Duel, but then mediums will really start to hurt him now, and you'd expect Big Balls to quite easily fly past him, possibly even on this straight with the DRS.
Yeah, he's got a quicker exit to that corner, and I think he's certainly going to go for the move. We see a yellow flag further down the order. That is for Trunders. They're side by side, actually. DeWill not fully given up yet, but he is forced to give up that position to Big Balls. I think we will see just drives away from him. DeWill does seem to be quicker than Carl on those hard tyres. So actually I think DeWill at the moment in a fairly good position, despite the fact he's trying completely different strategies to everyone else. I think it's going to pay off for him as long as he avoids his tyres going off a cliff or just completely bursting on him, giving him a puncture.
Well, we are on to lap number 19. DeWill's still going on their mediums, but the gap then, I mean, the battle between from Carl downwards to, I mean, Nellu's suddenly starting to catch this train. I mean, how far can he go, Nellu Safi? That's the big question. I mean, even a P8 is not terrible. You know, will it be enough to jump Carl Cohen? I'm not too sure. Potentially, yes, but I mean, is it going to be enough for DC getting right on the back end of Bobby? These two joint fourth at exactly the same points in the championship, and they still wheel to wheel here in the battle for that P4 place outright in the championship. Hobbsy still leads him for now. The problem for DC is he's getting DRS of Hobbsy. Hobbsy's getting DRS of Alex. It's a continuous train, so it's making it hard for DC to force a move on the Haas driver.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on the gap between front two as well, but I think Big Balls, certainly the last sector, is just going to fly away with it on those grippier tyres.
What a battle. What a battle this is.
Alex behind Strauss might be the next overtake. We see that gap fairly small. Strauss may have just lost the DRS of Carl. Strauss in a very good position to potentially get championship lead here, but he needs a good result if he's going to do that. He needs to be on the podium, and actually he needs his teammates, not the best result in the world. But we may end up leaving here with Aston Martin 1-2 in the championship.
Quite potentially. Quite potentially indeed. Well, about 20 and DC still cannot get close enough to Hobbs. He's getting DRS every time. Because Hobbs is behind Alex, he's getting DRS off Alex. So it's making it difficult for Dan to get anywhere near Hobbs. He's saving that 4, 5, 10th gap for about 3 laps now, but the life he can't get close to. I mean, it's going to be tough for DC to make any type of move at the moment. The problem he's got is he's got Nellu Safi very quickly gaining on him.
Yeah, how do you think the guys on the mediums are going to find trying to take their tyres to the end? Because Carl and Strauss, they could be done with their pit stops for now. They could very well be going to the end if there is a pit stop and they're already near enough the front that you don't have to worry too much. But those guys in the mediums...
Duwheel's tyres look gone. They look absolutely gone. Duwheel's tyres. I mean, they look at risk of a puncture to me looking at them. He's going to try and do a medium soft here. And fair play to him. It's going to be a push even now. He's not in territory for the soft tyres yet, so it's going to be a push for Duwheel. And then mediums are really starting to do it. He does stay in DRS of Big Balls. To be fair to him, he's doing a good job, Duwheel. The problem is when he's due to pit, there's a lot of places. And
he's going to come out, there's that pack at the moment coming through this last corner. I think he's going to come out around that pack. That's really not ideal for him.
Maybe he's waiting for a safety car, that's probably his hope. But we've got to talk about Resifi because he's now down in dead last. He's got multiple penalties. His race is falling apart after that safety car restart with Duwheel. I mean,
oh, Cole Parrock's had his race.
I know,
it's a pit lane retirement.
So last year's Tier 3 champion not having a good night and becomes a second retiree of the evening. But yeah, I think ever since that safety car restart between Duwheel and Resifi, it's costing. I mean, Resifi at one point looked like a clear favourite to win this race. He was flying, absolutely flying. So a real shame that it's not worked out for the pole sitter tonight in the end.
Yeah, I think Resifi might have just said, you know what, I want to get fastest lap. I think he's He's nabbed fastest lap and he's retired.
Not the first time we see the Knicks not worked out for the pole sitter, so 3 DNF now as if it. Unfortunately, his race is over in the pits. Fair play to Doolittle, who's still in the DRS range of big balls. He's now done 20 laps on the mediums there. I mean, they've got to be at serious risks now of blowing up. They've got to be.
I think he's got to pit next lap because the softs can go from here. Yeah, I mean, I guess waiting for a safety car you could, but how many laps is there left? There's only going to be
Alex and Strauss.
11
Alex
laps.
gets Strauss on the straight. So Strauss losing a spot on Hobbsy, not too far behind. Hobbsy has pulled away from DC as well now. The yellow flag again. That looks like Captain Nick. It is Captain Nick. So Alfa Romeo had a shocker tonight. But Alex getting past Strauss. And all of a sudden Strauss under pressure of maybe even losing out on the top 5. Of course, Doolittle has to pit. Yeah. And surely Doolittle's going to pit. But he can't pit just yet because Softs won't get to the end from here.
I thought they would because
I wanted to do a medium softer.
I thought softs went 14 laps by what the thing said at the start of the race. Was what they recommended. So softs only 11 laps. It would be what he's doing on them.
Oh, maybe I don't know. I thought that was a 14 lap for medium hard, wasn't it? Not.
No, I saw soft, medium was 14 on the first stint. I may be misreading it.
Oh, quite no. You may be right then. I mean, I didn't probably let that far on this track. I thought he died very, very quickly after about 7-8 laps. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe you're spot on. You might be spot on. He is pitting, so maybe you are right.
Yeah, of course.
Pit, the yellow flag again,
Captain Nick, yeah.
Right.
DeWill knows what he's doing.
Maybe you are right.
DeWill's won Tier 1 championships in the past. Now, this was many seasons ago, but from a strategical point of view, he has that champion mindset. He's won the races. And he also want to take a bit...
I mean, the problem he's got is it's all well and good going out on soft, isn't it? But he's going to be miles behind. He's going to come out in what, 14th behind Toast?
Actually,
a long way to go to fight through the pack.
Might have to worry about Lars and Trundles as well. I don't think they're too far behind. As long as he can stay ahead of them, then he'll stay ahead of them on these tyres. So yeah, just now a case of catching that group.
He'll set a great pace on these softs now, but I mean, how far can he go on these softs? There's no doubt he's going to set good pace here, but I mean, only 11 laps to go. It's not a long time. I mean, it's not easy. It's all well and good catching, but it's not easy to overtake. I mean, I think this could be tough. Really tough for Duo. Don't get me wrong, I think he'll climb a few places, but I don't know. I mean, look at that gap from Nelu down to 4-star now.
Yeah,
you know, I think Duo's realistic ambition is to get past 4-star.
Yeah, I think 8th's the best he can hope for.
I'd say so, without
safeguard mistakes from the front guys. I've just been looking at the constructors now. Something I hadn't noticed. 2nd and 3rd Red Bull Alpine tied. 4th, 5th Ferrari Williams separated by 2 points. 6th, 7th Hassan Fattori separated by 11 points. Mercedes and Alfa Romeo are also tied for 8th position. So they're kind of pairing off, apart from Aston Martin at the front and McLaren at the back. So close in the constructors. It's going to be so easy for drivers to gain or lose. Aston Martin's Tier 2 still dominating.
We mentioned before, didn't we, that the top five constructors separated by 99 points, which is nothing. 99 points is absolutely nothing. It's a couple of race wins. You know, it's really not a lot. When the constructors' championship is spread over 4 tiers, that's what 8 drivers every week that are competing. It's not a lot, and it can change very, very, very quickly. Any constructor can still win this. I remember a couple of seasons ago when Racing Point were dead last and they ended up winning it. You know, anything can happen. And
yeah, well, new drivers can come in. Just.
I mean, look at, for example, Big Balls, who's now he's got a race win for Red Bull this season.
Yeah, he might just get another.
Race for Alfa Tauri. So, you know,
seems to like the Honda engine.
But you know, that's the point I'm trying to make. You know, the reserve drivers come in. There's another yellow flag there. It looks like he's going off the track on the straight.
Yeah, I think Lars is going to end up getting past him.
But yeah. I mean, Big Balls has won a race for Red Bull. He's on course now to win a race for Alfa Tauri. I mean, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. As DC still finds himself stuck behind Hobbsy. Hobbsy getting very close to Strauss.
Well, actually, DC himself under threat by Nelu Safu. I think Nelu Safu, yeah, he's on the inside. Decides better of it. On the hard tyres, it's going to be harder to do anything to the later laps. Nelu Safu wants to get at least 10 points. That is his gap to Cal Cohen. If he can get ahead of Cal Cohen, that puts him in a good position. Also needs to worry about Strauss. I mean, he is his teammate, but Strauss at the moment on target to get 23 points. I think current finishing order, it would be Nelu, Safu, Calco and Strauss. But Strauss only needs one more position to overtake Calco. And if he can get more than that, then he could be looking at getting it off his teammate. Championship.
I think Nelu Safu's smart, isn't he? You know that you don't know with every race. You know, he's had a tough qualifying session tonight, only 14th. He's not had the greatest pace in the race, but he's up there now. He's in a battle for maybe even a 4th, 5th, 6th place finish. So you know, you're not going to get a podium tonight, but you get a podium. You know, a 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th place finish should be more than good enough. You know, it's going to get him potentially above Calco and advantage him for next week. So he's done a good job tonight, Nelu Safu, and again, you know, he's not out of the question for a P4, P5, P6 finish here. Hobbsy gets past the Aston Martin of Strauss. Hobbsy, that'll do Hobbsy good because he's now bridged the gap to DC. You know, he's separated, he's put Strauss in between himself and DC. So Hobbsy maybe not out of the question for a podium either now. He's got 2 laps better mediums than Alex. And Alex not in DRS range of anybody. Hobbsy in DRS range of the Williams driver. So Hobbsy could be on the back podiums tonight at this rate.
Yeah, we'll see at the moment. Strauss actually having to worry about... Oh, Captain Nick, is that... No, it's a crash. I assume it is. Where is he? He's right in the middle of the track. You've got to go between his car and his tyre. That's a safety car. Too busy looking at the...
Safety car right at the death. Right at the death of the race. This could make things very interesting. Here comes the softs. All of a sudden, we said Doolittle, I tell you what, Doolittle could be in a great position.
It depends who else pits though, because of course he'll be right up in amongst them. Those who don't pit, I'm going to see. I don't think Big Balls can afford to pit.
I'd pit. I think you've got to pit. You're going to get jumped. I mean, Big Balls is pitting. I think you've got to pit. So if you don't pit, you're going to get absolutely mauled by the soft drivers.
Alex staying out.
The rest are pitting though. Alex is in big trouble for me. He's in big trouble.
Nelu Safu also staying out. I think that's the right decision from him, given where he was. Would end up.
All-Star staying out, Fleur PR staying out, Drake. I mean, the majority are coming in for fresh slots, but there's a few that have stuck.
Yeah,
Duel's also. Obviously, we knew Duel would stick in. To be fair to him, he's going to be what, 4th?
4th.
On the fresher soft. I mean,
no.
He's going to go big balls, to be fair.
Six.
Great.
I can't
Great pit stop there as well, isn't it?
Wait, yeah, no, he's already in 3rd. Wow, I didn't count for him.
Already pitted with a stop into 3rd.
That
You can
day.
see the majority of the grid.
He made the right decision then for him.
Well, the majority grid putting the fresh softs. I mean, Alex on 70 lap all mediums. He's the leader, but he's at serious risk of being jumped by a lot of soft runners here. I mean, you look at now. I mean, Big Balls is the favourite because he's not only on the fresh softs, but he's got a gap down to the next soft runner due to 4-star and Fleur PR. So Big Balls will be open that 4-star and Fleur PR defend their lives on the restart from the likes of Doolittle, Kyle Hobbsy, Strauss, DC, etc. Alex, I think, could be in trouble. Their mediums will start to feel a little bit sluggish now as well, in comparison to the fresh soft. Even Nelu Safu, you know, he's one of the championship favourites, so he can go top tonight. He'll try and defend for his life for that podium, which will do him wonders. But on 14 lap old hards compared to fresh soft,
Yeah, I think we're going to end up
he could be in trouble.
4 laps of racing, I think, because we're going to have lap 27 and 28 behind the safety car. I think by then Trundles would have caught up. So I reckon, yeah, from lap 29 onwards, we're going to have 4 laps of racing for essentially Alex and Nelu Safu to defend like their life depends on it. Big Balls to try and move up the field. Actually, Nish did a very good job. I think we might see him win here. Nelu Safu, I'm fairly happy to say he did make the right decision, all things given. He was it 7th or 8th position. I think this would work quite well for him because his tyres, them being hard, are still going to be fairly happy with him. Alex's tyres are going to be screaming a little bit. I think he's going to struggle to finish on the podium.
And of course, no DRS for the first couple of laps of the restart. So I think it'll come in at the end of this lap, that's for sure. So what, 5 laps of racing?
4 laps.
4 laps of racing, sorry, apologies. Yeah.
Wait, no, 5 laps, I can't count. Do you know, I even counted on my fingers. I was like, right, yeah, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. And somehow still got it wrong.
Yeah, so 5 laps of racing, no DRS for the first couple of them laps. So it's going to be a fight. But, you know, you guarantee that all these soft runners are going to want to take off here and fight for these places, whereas the likes of Nelu...
But they will be
Alex,
fighting each other as well.
PR having to defend for their lives. Not having DRS could help, like from now when we sat throughout here.
I'm going to have a quick look at the penalties of the drivers. And actually, if the person asking about the Dutch drivers in chat, you can see here, Carl and Strauss, both Dutch. I think, yeah, Carl Paradox is as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, Alex on 1 warning from lap 1. Nelu Safu on 3 warnings. That's a neat trick. Big Balls just on the 1, so he's in a strong position here. 4-star on 1. I think, if I had to say at the moment, the win is probably going to go to Big Balls. He very well may get someone into turn 1. Yeah, there we go. We knew it was coming. Safety car in this lap. And
yeah, I agree. I think Big Balls is the massive favourite for this race now. You know, after that gap down to who else going to help him out as well. You know, the longer that 4-star and Claire PR can defend from the soft runners, that will help Big Balls out even more. He's won a race in Red Bull. Can he win a race in an AlphaTauri now?
I think as long as he's careful, he should be able to get one of them almost immediately.
And the top 3, old mediums, old hards, and fresh soft, so it definitely suits Big Balls, that's for sure.
Yeah, he got a bit of a shield to the rest of the drivers.
5 laps to go. It's a sprint finish here in Spain, around number 7.
Alex not quite going yet. When's he going to go?
A late restart could cause carnage. It's going to be a late restart.
There we go. He's going, and immediately Big Ball's an amazing start here. Same for Nelu Safu. Alex has not done well here. Nelu Safu trying to pull alongside. Big Ball's going to try and make this 3 wide, and decides better of it. So Alex defending the lead.
Big Balls could get them both on the outside. They could literally got, oh wow, how was he not contact between Big Balls and Alex? There's 3 of them going wide here as Big Balls looks to go on the inside of them both and lead the race. There's contact between the 2 of them, but Big Balls does lead the race. Here comes Nelly on Alex and gets past him. So Alex all of a sudden from first down to 3rd, but comes back on Nelu. Can he get the P2 back? They're literally neck and neck. This is unreal. I think Nelly may have it done, but Alex on the inside of him comes back. He's fighting for his life, Alex, but does lose out in the end as Big Balls has took off. He is gone.
So will get it past Clerpiard. Clerpiard not lost another position there. And another one, Clerpiard not doing well here. Must have been a slow exit to the corner. They'll just get Hobbsy back. See behind. What is this carnage here? This is contact.
Ooh.
3, 4 drivers going very, very wide. Carl getting a huge amount of penalty.
Oh, Strout, one of them. Strout is down to 13th. Hobbs is down to 14th. What has happened there? Wow. I do not know what's happened there, but two of the championship contenders are down to 13th and 14th. What has happened there?
Yeah, I didn't catch the full contact, but I looked backwards from one of the drivers and just saw carnage, jumped on board of them, and they all kind of caught each other. So one of them was trying to turn, and cars caught on each other and just kept going wide and wide and wide. I think Carl Cohen got some penalties for that one. I think he'll probably try and get them removed, and probably can if he doesn't get any penalties, because someone almost certainly caused that collision. It was a big, big collision. Someone was too careless, or braked wrong. It is possible it is somehow all the racing incident, but let's see how it goes.
Well, I mean, for Stroud, it's not ideal. Being down in 13th can lose a lot of points to his teammate Nelu Safi. Not great for Aston Martin either. Hobbsy, who we mentioned was a podium sitter last week, so close to a race winner P2 in Portugal. Portugal not too far from Spain, of course, on the border, but it's not going to be the same result tonight. Down to 14th now, Hobbsy. We mentioned his battle with DC, level on points, 4th in the championship with DC, but DC now in a battle for a potential podium here at the death of this race, and Hobbsy looking to get points.
Yeah, so I'm currently on board with DeWill, waiting for him to jump at 4-star. I think I'll probably go for him. DRS is going to say it's enabled this lap, so we'll get it in the middle sector. It's Big Ball sets the fastest lap, and he's just flung off into the distance. He's already got 3.5 seconds down to Nelly Safu. There we go, there's that DRS enabled. Actually, I think Krishna's potentially looking for a move on DC. No, all that doesn't do it. DC currently in a Ferrari sandwich.
I think Nelu Safu's realised that the P1's gone here, but he would more than be happy with a P2 from 14th on the grid when the guy who's heading of the championship's not here tonight, and the guy that's behind the championship's down in 14th. I'm sure that Nelu Safu will be over the moon with a P2 that at one point tonight looked impossible for Nelu Safu to get a podium as Carl. No! What has happened there? Into a wall. Oh no. Cal's off, out of the race. More misery for
Down to
Mercedes.
just
What
15
has happened
drivers
to
then.
Cal?
And now every driver who
Man.
finishes getting points. 3 laps of racing left, of course. Ooh!
Oh,
there's
DC on
stars.
the inside of 4-star. There's contact between the two. Krishna could get DC now because of that. On the inside of DC and Krishna.
There's contact. Christian's gone round. No.
He just can't seem to get any bit of luck in the race, Krishna. Once again, for the second time tonight. I mean, I think DC could potentially get a penalty for that. They'll have to see it again. I may be wrong, but it looks like DC's he's had a bit of a collision with 4-star. Krishna's thought, well, I'm going to go for the move. And he's off the track and in a wall, and Krishna's out in the Grand Prix. It's more heartache in the race for Krishna, but I think DC could potentially be in a bit of trouble as he loses out to the Luxie. Luxie out of nowhere, got a penalty, but flying here. Got 2 penalties even.
Yeah, he
which
got
could cost
past.
him.
DeWitt jumped down a few positions because, of course, it was Deluxey who was in a Ferrari sandwich, wasn't it? And now he's got past both of them. Of course, Krishna haven't through that spin, but DeWitt, I guess, he just got through and I wasn't really paying that much attention.
The yellow flag and Drake's. It's been a chaotic end to this race. As Drake's loses part of his wing into the wall as well. It's been a mental end to this Grand Prix. But Big Balls, who's won a race for Red Bull this season,
Ooh,
is
Deluxey's
about to win a race for AlphaTauri.
Deluxey is on 6 seconds of penalties. That's a lot given how close that train is.
Well, Nello Savio looks pretty comfortable to bring on a P2, which is a fantastic result for him. From 14th on the grid tonight, he will shoot up right to the top of that championship ahead of next week's trip to Saudi Arabia, that's for sure. The battle for the final podium position, by no means over yet. It's about 6 of them fighting for it, 1 lap to go. So Alex is defending for his life. He's 1 lap away from a podium, but could it be 4-star tonight? 4-star on 20 lap hold hard. DRS on Alex. He's going to get past Alex and get himself into that final podium place. It could be a heartbreak for Alex on the last lap. It looks like he could potentially be losing his podium to Alex. But here, to 4-star. But here comes Deluxe, and don't rule out DC, who's going to give it absolutely everything here himself to try and force it. At the moment, it favours 4-star, but can Alex come back?
Of course, DC knows he doesn't need to pass Deluxey, only if he thinks he can also get past Alex, otherwise it's just not worth the risk.
No.
He's just going to get Deluxey anyway. Big Ball's now 5.5 seconds up the road. Actually, Nelly Safi will be very happy with the gap he's generated to 4-star.
Well, 4-star's only got 34 points all season. He's in the bottom 5 of the championship.
He's about to get 33 more.
Amazing
Sorry,
night.
28 more.
He could pretty much double his tally. 4-star here. He's potentially 2 corners away. Deluxe, he goes for a lunge on the inside of Alex. He's got a penalty, Deluxe, but he's not letting that play a part as he gets past Alex. Alex now at risk of losing another place to DC 1 lap ago. Alex is on for a 3rd. He might not even get a 4th here. As a 4-star, he's going to bring it home. DC
There we go.
do well as well.
Big Ball's getting the win.
What a crazy end to the race. And I think 4-star's going to nearly double his tally and jump on the podium for the first time this season. Yes, he is. Well done to 4-star. What a race. What a
And
race.
Deluxey dropping all the way down to 10th position.
Look at Strauss down in 13th. Damaging night for Strauss, that. He's not capitalised on Cal Cohen not being here.
No, just 3 points got this race. Brings the gap down to only 24 to Cal Cohen. Nelu Safu hit, claiming 33 points. He was only 10 behind anyway. It was 23 ahead of Cal Cohen. And he will be very, very happy with that.
What a race. A round 7 of Tier 2 in Season 6. I mean, there's only 7 rounds to go after tonight, but what a race. Cal Cohen not being here. Nelu Safu has fully capitalised with a solid, I believe, 36 points. Is it for P2?
33. So it's 40, 33, 28,
33.
23, 20. I'll stick it up on the stream for those who are watching.
So he's not including Stewarding, but he'll go ahead of him. And look at that. I don't want the game. He's throwing out F1 games. I don't want that. Don't throw that to me.
I haven't seen that one before.
Don't really want that. But I
Actually, it was. Do you remember we had all those horrific? It was Big Balls. He got his last win in USA. Can't forget the name of the track. And it was then that I had technical issues to anything. And actually, we missed the end of the race on the stream. Of course, you still saw it, but yeah. Big Balls now actually gets to see himself on the podium, getting that fastest lap as well. So He got 41 points last time, didn't he?
He did.
He's done it
Indeed.
again.
He's won a race for Red Bull. He's now won a race for Alpha Tauri, the sister team. So, well done to Big Ball. How many drivers have won a race for 2 different teams in a season? I mean, it's got to be a first, that, surely.
But also, it's the fact that both times he got fastest lap as well. 41 points both times.
So, is he now a permanent driver for Alpha Tauri?
No, not yet. I mean, he might be after this performance, but
next week he turns up in a Haas and wins for Haas.
yeah.
Can you imagine? He just keeps winning for every team. Can he drive for Mercedes, please?
Hey, reserves enough. Might be to go around the entire grid. Win once for each team.
Well, that's 2 wins for 2 different teams now. For Red Bull in USA and, of course, for Alpha Tauri tonight in Spain. But what a Grand Prix that was. Sets us up very nice for the next week's trip to Saudi Arabia for a Cone Racing League first. At Jeddah.
Yeah, so there we go. I will stick it on that. After actually, we need to get the guys in. Can you ping the our 3 podium drivers for that interview? I'll try and get them in.
Yep.
Especially Big Bulls again. What am I doing? I need to actually add them here, don't I? So it was Big Balls. So bad at memory.
It was Big Balls, Nelly Tapu, and 4-star.
Right, so yeah, let them join. And almost every single last driver of the day vote within Tier 2 going to 4-star, apart from 4-star himself, who voted for Nelly Safi. Interesting, Big Boss hasn't got any of them yet. Right, so... I'm sure 4-star will be really happy to get. I think this is the first podium in Tier 2. Yeah,
Well, I mean,
some drivers asking about the carnage.
Nearly doubled his points tally in one race, so a big well done to him for that. So you're even joining us for a chat. I know Nelly Safi doesn't normally join us, does he, for a chat?
No, I mean, I forgot to move him from the thing last time, but sorry, he was already in. Does 4-star know? Yeah, so 4-star. This is his first. He was Tier 3 last season, wasn't he? And he got some very, very good results there. I'm just having a look at the where he finished Tier 3 wise. Let's look at. What team was he in? I'm being remarkably blind. Oh, no, 4-star wasn't this tier last. What am I on about? 4-star's been in Tier 2 for ages.
I think we're joined by our first guest.
Oh.
Good evening, mate. How are you?
Good evening, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm not too bad. I mean, I spoke to you back in USA when you won for Red Bull. You've now won for Alpha Tauri, so we're just saying then before you join, are you going to join every team and win a race from this season? Not the aim.
Yeah, that would have been my aim, yeah, but I've luckily got the full-time seat at Alpha now, so...
Well, we was wondering that. We didn't know if you got it or not. We wasn't 100% certain, so that's confirming it.
Yeah,
you're an Alpha Tauri driver.
I am, yeah, so I won't be chopping and changing anymore.
That's good. I mean, I'm sure that Red Bull will still take that 40 points, won't they? 41 points you got him, I think, wasn't it, the fastest lap as well?
I did, yeah.
But what? I mean, talk us through it. Hello.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Hi, boys.
Talk us through that win then, because I mean, on the restart you just took off.
Yeah, I had a bad Q2, didn't I, really? And I couldn't get through on the mediums. So yeah, I had to go out on the softs, and then my first soft lap I invalidated. So I had to do a second soft lap, which obviously put extra tyre wear on. So that wasn't the ideal preparation for the race. And I just stretched my softs as long as I could, and I was about to pit, and then my good friend Statistic King got a safety car out for me at the perfect time.
Oh, I have to look into that.
Yeah.
Dodgy.
Absolutely. So he's made up for the fact that he beat me to the championship in CRC II all them years ago now.
Finally some
Giving me
redemption.
that safety car worked out perfect, and then my old mate Captain Nick decided to bring another one out, which didn't help at all. He didn't help me at all, though.
Yeah, to be
As
fair,
usual.
That was his third attempt at bringing the safety car out of the race as well, so it was always going to happen.
yeah, but we'll look into this Nick King one, but Captain Nick getting safety car doesn't surprise me, to be honest. We won't look into that one.
Yeah.
But I was going to have a look how much points you're on, but I don't actually have it. I don't know if you and anyone else does. I don't know, but because you're as a reserve, I don't have the. How many races have you done? You only done 2?
Yeah, I think I'm on 83 now.
Have you only done 2 races?
3. I did Britain as well. Got 1 point.
So you got 41 twice and then what?
Slightly. Yeah, I don't know what happened in Britain. I had a bad race.
You're an off day, aren't you? Did you race for AlphaTauri in Britain?
No. I can't remember who I raced for in Britain, to be fair. Might have been Ferrari. They're like spinning.
If I were Ferrari, I'd be a bit annoyed. You've won races for AlphaTauri Red Bull, you've got them 1 point.
Alright. Every point counts.
That could be the point. You never know. That could be the point that that wins them. I mean, I don't think. I mean, it might be a big statement. I don't think you're out the championship race, and I know it sounds mental, but you've only raced 3 races and you've won 2 of them. There's 7 races to go. I mean, keep up this form, and you never know.
No, I suppose you don't, but I'm not even looking at that, to be fair. I'm just going to enjoy it. No pressure on me, is there?
Watch it. We'll turn next week. He'll be in a Mercedes, won't we?
4-star, I know this is your first
I'll try.
podium of the season. Can you remember the last time you got a podium? Because I'm trying to remember when it was. I know you've got them in the past.
Who? Who are
You,
you talking to?
4-star.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
No, not this season. No, last season. It's been a while.
Yeah, because I know you've been racing in Tier 2 for ages. Obviously,
No, they dropped me down. I got dropped into Tier 3 1 year, and then come back up again, I think, the year after. But I think I've won a race in every season that I've done, and I'm not sure I'm going to do that this season, which will be a shame. But you never know. Third's right. I'll take that. Take a podium.
yeah, 28 points.
Nice to hear a new voice, isn't it?
That's what.
Nice to hear a new voice in here rather than Dan and Cal Cohen and.
They were the same 4 people again and again.
Well, you nearly doubled your points tally in 1 race tonight. You was on 33 before tonight, so you nearly doubled it in 1 race.
Yeah, I think we were me and the lot that we party up with, Tobes, Clerper, and Nick. We've all been pretty poor this season, so we've all been pretty equal on points. So it's nice that I'll hopefully have left them behind now.
Yeah, well, you're
You're
tied
best
with
of the rest, aren't you?
you're tied with
Yeah.
Recife. I don't know where Club PR finished. He was on 49 points. So actually, he's doing best out of that group.
Oh, he stacked it somewhere towards the end. He ended up like that. I don't really know what happened to him. I think he might be in front of the stewards. But I can
finished
say
12th.
that him and Toads didn't record because we were looking forward to seeing Nick taking both out on that one, and neither of them got their recordings. So that's great.
Oh, right. Don't tell the stewards.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was wondering. We saw that thing between Captain Nick and Tobes. This would be good fun with the party audio to see what they were doing.
Oh yeah, you'll enjoy that. Yeah, my view was pretty good as I come around the corner. They were just all in a pile. So yeah, that's nice.
Just you both know it's a new track next week. Going to Saudi Arabia. How would you both feel about that? Any practice? Have you done any races there before, any of you, or any practice? Or
Yeah, I've had a few races there before.
race, I've not done any time on it. I need to put some time in at some point.
well, you got a podium now. That's it. We expect to hear from you every week now.
Yeah,
Race
don't.
winner next week.
Yeah, there you go.
It's only
Okay.
a week to go now,
The
mate.
goals is going to win in the Haas next week. He's changing every week. He's winning for every team. Apart from Ferrari, he don't like Ferrari, but every other team, he's going to win for them this season. That's
Ferrari's cursed.
That's 2 out of 10. You know, there's still time to get the other 7 a win. There's 7 races to go, so you know.
Yeah.
Haas next week, Mercedes the week after. You could. I mean, there's still time. 9 wins for every team and a point for Ferrari.
That sounds fair. Let's go.
But no, thank you very much for you both joining us, and well done for you both tonight with the result.
Yeah,
Right,
thanks for the
thank you.
comms, lads. Well done.
No problem.
Good luck
I'm sure
for
you'll
next
enjoy
week,
watching
boys.
it back.
I'm sure we
Yeah,
will.
I will.
It's always nice when you do well watching it back. It's never nice when you don't do very well, but when you win or get a pony, it's always nice watching it back.
Get a bit of airtime. All about the airtime.
You're going to skip right to the end, aren't you? Just listen to this. You're not going to watch the race back. Just listen to the interview.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
Oh, well done, guys.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah,
Cheers.
cheers, lads. Thank you.
No
Right.
worries.
See you later.
See you later. Take care.
Right, there we go. So I've just stuck the link for Tier 1 in the chat, as they are currently on the formation lap, so I'll try and wrap up fairly quickly, and I recommend you go watch them. But yeah, Big Balls once again reserving, getting the win and the fastest lap. 4-star, nice to see him back on the podium. Nelly Safu, again on the podium. To the front of the championship now, 23-point lead over Cal Cohen, who's missed 2 races in a row. And then we also had Strauss, a bit of a flop of a race, who of course still closed in on Cal Cohen, but his teammate pulling away from it a little bit. I think the gap between the two of them now is more than 40 points, so he can't catch up with his teammate next race no matter what happens. So yeah, we're a bit disappointed in this round. Still 7 races to go, one of which is a sprint race, so yeah. Anything for you to say? Or?
So we always say, don't we? If you're still sat here watching us, what are you doing? There's a Tier 1 race on now. Go and watch them.
They're pulling onto the grid as we speak, so their formation lap is about to end.
There we go then. Have a great week, everybody, and we'll see you next week for a new circuit.
Yeah, and Jed, I look forward to it. Hopefully the qualifying's as exciting as Verstappen's lap was, but from us, goodbye, go watch Tier 1.
Yeah, don't why you still sat here, go.
Go away. Be gone.